Our game is about more than sacrifice. Our game's about style.
Camogie is the fastest field sport in the world.
In our game, we play and create with flair.
Push, all the way through, really good.
We break records, smash ceilings, and shatter expectations. We live with our own expression.
I am the best.
We turn our style into art. We set real squad goals. On and off the pitch. We follow trailblazers and legends. And our game is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We forge our own path forward.
You want the new personal best? Come on, all the way. Yes.
Because our style is substance. And our style is here to stay.
Thank you very much and welcome here to St Brendan's Park in Birr for the Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 2 quarter-final. I'm Darren Kelly and this is the first of two live games we have broadcasting live today in association with Entry and the Camogie Association. Meath against Kilkenny, and what a contest we're looking forward to. As I mentioned, I'm Darren Kelly and joined here by Elaine Aylward. And Elaine, in Division 2 in particular, the 4 games taking place today, all intriguing, and this first match we have, Meath against Kilkenny, should be a tight one.
Yeah, 4 really good quarterfinals, and there's been some ding-dong battles in the group games and a couple of unexpected results, I suppose, and that leads us here today to Kilkenny and Meath. And as you said, yeah, Meath a well-experienced team and Kilkenny a good mix of youth and experience, so I'm looking forward to a really good game.
It's a big day for Kilkenny in general. Later on, of course, we'll be looking at Kilkenny seniors against Limerick in the Division 1 quarter-final. But for the intermediates, after being denied their championship opportunity last year, for the squad of players coming through Kilkenny, and there's a great squad of them from what I'm hearing as well, a good place and a chance for them to really test themselves in this competition. Yeah,
it was a huge disappointment. I suppose the team had been back, the intermediate teams, the second teams in counties had been back training. They had played some league games and stuff last year and never got a chance then to compete in championships. So I suppose a little bit of incentive there for them this year to get back into it. And as you said, Kilkenny have a huge panel here today, and they're the guts of 18 months now waiting to get a game and get a knockout game, and they have one today against Meath, who are one of the really strong teams in last year's championship.
They did well against Wexford the first day despite losing by 7 points. Got the win against Laois that allows them to compete today. But even last week, from what I'm hearing as well, they kept themselves active despite having the week off.
Yeah, certainly. Brian Dowling kept his troops busy with a challenge match last Saturday morning before they travelled here to Birr. So that's great experience for an intermediate team. It's a shortened league this year, quick run into championship. So challenge matches and competitive games are few and far between. So if you can get them within your own county, how bad?
For John Scott, my apologies, and his panel as well, their targets for the year, they'll be looking for silverware, no doubt, definitely, but for these players as well to progress the talent pool that's coming through in Kilkenny Camogie as well, what are they looking for? Is the result most important, or is the performance of individual players that maybe Brian Downey might look at later in the year?
Yeah, look, I think from an intermediate point of view, they'll be looking at their own squad and their own team and looking to get their own results. As I said, competitive games are hard to come by, so a win here in the league today guarantees them another competitive game, and it shortens that run into championship. So I think that's what a lot of the intermediate teams will be looking for. Ultimately, it will be to win the league, but to stay playing competitive games as long as they can into that championship run-in.
Kilkenny defensively have been sound enough. Meath on the other side have probably struggled for scores. They got 119 the first day against Kildare, but they've been trying out sweepers, they've been trying to stop conceding themselves, but they've struggled to make a count at the other end. Yeah,
they have. They've had a mixed kind of a bag so far in the league, and they come here today, I suppose, not expecting a huge lot of themselves, not really knowing maybe what their best format is or what their best way to play is, but the only way you can work these things out is when you get to the latter stages of the championship and get to try them against the Kilkennys of this world. And they probably have been disappointed last year to go out of the championship the way they did in that All-Ireland semi-final to the eventual winners up there, so they'll be looking to right some of those wrongs, and that starts here today in Birr.
Before the COVID lockdown last year, Meath were flying it in the league, 4 wins out of 4. Indeed, they beat Kilkenny in that by 9 points to 1-5 as well. They never really regained that momentum when we got back playing last winter.
No, never really got that momentum going, and that was really evident in that All-Ireland semi-final up in Clones. They just never got to grips with that game, never got into the flow, as you said, they had been pre-lockdown, and I suppose that will have niggled at them over the winter maybe, and maybe something that Brendan and his backroom team were looking at over that winter, and maybe that's why there's a couple of tweaks and changes in the way they've been playing so far, and look, they'll be trying to get that right on the big day, but obviously today is a good way to test it.
They conceded 3 goals against Kildare, they conceded 3 goals against Westmeath. They managed to sort that out in the victory against Dublin. 4 points as well too. Like, they definitely need to make sure they don't give Kilkenny goals early on.
Absolutely, yeah. Goals are killer, for any team, and you can score as much as they like at the other end, but if you're conceding goals and soft goals at the other end, it really knocks the stuffing out of a team. So I suppose if you can consolidate at the back and try and build from there, that'll be one of their main aims for today.
And finally, before we wrap up at the moment, Jane Dolan back in the Meath team, that's always a plus for them.
Absolutely, Jane's a fantastic player. I've been lucky enough to play with her on Leinster teams over the years, and she's a huge asset to any team, and especially Meath, and her experience I suppose is something they'll really be counting on today and into the latter end of the championship.
Well, myself and Elaine will be back in the commentary box shortly, but we're really looking forward to it. Meath against Kilkenny in Division 2 quarter-final of the Littlewoods Ireland's National Camogie League. Before that, in the team news, we're going to hear from the 2 managers, and that's coming up after this break.
Our game's about style. We forge our own path forward. Because our style is substance.
Delighted to be joined now by Meath Camogie manager Brendan Skehan. And Brendan, great to be back in knockout stages of competition in the league.
Yeah, it's great to be here. The girls are really psyched up for it. We were here last year, but unfortunately the plug was pulled on it, so we were looking forward to it. It's the right time of the year to be playing camogie, so the girls are going well and they're really up for it. They're looking forward to it today. 4th
consecutive week of action. Of course, you had the blip against Westmeath in your 2nd game. You got the win against Dublin too. What will you be looking for from your players today, bar the result?
A little bit more cohesion up forward, I think. I think we left ourselves with an uphill battle in a few of the games because of the few goals that, 1 or 2 goals that always get in against you in a game like that. You can't legislate for that. So we try and tighten up the back line, but take our opportunities when we get in there inside the 20-metre line. I think we need a little bit of focus on that today, maybe, and just keep battling away in the middle. They're going well.
Because as you mentioned there as well, you got 119 the first day, but I suppose struggling the scoreboard, and it's vitally important you get more than 12 points in this contest.
Yeah, no, and as if we want to progress in the competition, it's going to become more and more important. You've got to be able to take the opportunities. We've created plenty of opportunities, and it's through no fault of the girls up front. It's just whatever, just maybe the way they're being marked, the movement they're coming out, maybe a little bit more hungry for the ball out here. So we're just trying to brush up on a few things and polish up a few of the edges and that, and I think we'll be okay. I think today they know they have a job to do and they're quietly confident. Let's hope things go according to plan.
Well, Brendan, very, very best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to be joined now by Kilkenny Intermediate Camogie manager John Scott. And again, John, quarter-final of the league, where else would you want to be?
Exactly, yeah. I know we were very happy to get here. We had a tough old group with Wexford being their first team, but look, we got through it anyway. And Laois, we got through over Laois badly, but we got there anyway eventually to get into the quarter-finals, which is very good.
That was a big performance from your team as well, because Laois were All-Ireland semi-finalists last year, and I know your own team had been denied that opportunity to contest as well, but at least goes to show the squad of players were in fine fettle.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. And I think the girls are really, really looking forward because of that as well. The season was cut short for them last year, so they were really, really looking forward to get back out on the pitch.
What's it been like with the panel this year as well? The numbers in Kilkenny are looking good. Of course, your own squad, you have plenty of options as well on the bench as well. You must be very happy where they are.
Oh, very happy, yeah. There's a good core of girls there now, and there's 1 or 2 of them pushing to be on the senior team, so which is very good,
And of course, Miriam Bamberg was a player you had last year as well when you played Meath in this competition. Only a point on the day as well. No doubt you're expecting another tough contest from Meath.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Oh, yeah. Meath, look, it's actually their first team as well, and they were only actually relegated from senior, I think, a couple of years ago. So it'll be a very, very tough game now today, I think.
Well, John, wish you the very, very best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Our game's about style. We forge our own path forward. Because our style is substance.
So welcome back here to the commentary box in St Brendan's Park. That was, of course, the Kilkenny manager John Scott before the break. And beforehand, we spoke to the Meath manager Brendan Skehan, and both teams, Elaine, just getting themselves ready for this crunch contest as well. A game that has to be decided on the day, as do all the Division 2 quarter-finals, and a big afternoon of camogie ahead of us.
Yeah, a huge 60 minutes now for Meath and Kilkenny as they go at it here. As you said, Meath out nice and early. We've gone through a long warm-up there and a couple of minutes from throw-in now. So, I think both teams will be looking to get off to a good start. Nervy first knockout game, I suppose, of the league series in it. So both teams looking to get off to a good start.
So let's look at the Kilkenny team. We mentioned these two sides played last March of 2020. Kilkenny only have 5 starters from that game. In goal for them is Sinead Farrell, a full back line of 2 Niamh Leahy. The captain is number 3 Roisin Phelan, and wearing number 4 is Ciara Murphy. The half back line were number 5 Tiffany Fitzgerald, one of 4 changes from the team that played Laois 2 weeks ago. Leanne Finley wears number 6, and number 7 is Laura Hegarty. In midfield were number 8 Aisling Curtis, partner by number 9 Laura Green. The half forward line 10 is Hannah Scott, number 11 is Ciara Phelan, and 12 is Ciara O'Keefe. An inside line of 13 Sophia Dwyer, 14 Anya Phelan, and where number 15 is Daniel Quigley.
Yeah, a nice mix, as you said there, of youth and experience, and a lot of changes obviously from last year, from March 2020, which seems like a lifetime ago at this stage. But, you know, a really strong half back line there in Kilkenny. I think they'll have their work cut out against them with that Meath half forward line today, and I'm expecting a huge battle in the middle of the field. Aisling Curtis and Laura Green line out for Kilkenny.
There's one change from the Meath team that was announced during the week, and one positional change as well. We look at their team as 10 of those players that played in that match in March 2020. In goal, number 1 Maggie Randall, the full back line of number 2 Louise Donoghue, 3 is Ellen Burke, and 4 is Sophia Payne. Wearing number 20, well, not coming into the team, she did start against Dublin last week, as Leah Devine. Number 6 centre back is Maeve Clint, and 7 is Tracy King. In midfield, where number 8 is the captain Christina Troy, partner by number 9 Aideen Slattery. The half forward line, where number 10 is Grace Coleman, 11 is Aoife Minogue, and at left wing forward number 13 Amy Gaffney. An inside line of Sinead Hackett, where number 14 returning to the team, number 12 Jane Dolan starts at full forward, and Megan Tyne is handed number 15 jersey.
Yeah, as you mentioned, huge experience there in that Meath team, and if you look at them down the centre and the forward line there, Aoife Minogue, Jane Dolan, Amy Gaffney and Sinead Hackett, you know, huge experience there, and I think they used all that experience last week against Dublin to grind out that win and secure themselves the place here today. So they're the kind of players that Meath will be looking for today, to use that experience of being in around these ranks and in around the league and championship business end of things. Now they look for their experience today.
Jane Dolan, of course, as we mentioned already, a very, very important player for Meath, back in the full forward line. As you mentioned, the full back line, Kilkenny have the work cut out. Meath have struggled to score, as we mentioned in the intro too. They have to correct that today and do better. Definitely get a goal or two. They've only got 1 goal in 3 matches so far, and if they don't, you just get the feeling Kilkenny can carry this. Yeah,
and I suppose the fact that Jane is positioned in there at full forward maybe is the first thing that they're looking at to try and amend that, to try and get a few goals today. But I think for Kilkenny, key will be to cut out the supply from around the middle of the field. You know, if they can cut out that supply going into that full forward line and starve that Meath full forward line, that maybe forces Meath then to pull out the likes of Jane Dolan out further out the field, and maybe takes away that goal threat from inside. So I think Kilkenny around the middle of the field is going to be a very busy area today, and whoever can come out on top there, I think, gives themselves a great chance.
Yeah, Aisling Curtis and Laura Green up against Christina Troy and Aideen Slattery, and of course Christina Troy, I should say. And we saw the skills she brought off last week, football style. She doesn't even need a hurl to get into that midfield battle.
No, absolutely, the hurl is just surplus to requirements for Christine, but I suppose it just goes to show the willingness to work and the willingness to throw yourself around and put your body where you wouldn't normally put a hurl. And what a fantastic block. So if anyone hasn't seen it, they should go and look at that block last week against Dublin. It was just pure bravery, I suppose, and probably thought nothing about it in the heat of the moment. But, you know, as I said, there's huge experience in that Meath team, and they are a physical team. You know, they do bring a certain level of physicality, so that's something that Kilkenny will have to come to terms with today.
We talk about the block from Christina Troy, of course. Megan Tyne, she used to hurl for her one as well, and even though, as I mentioned there, she's wearing number 15, but we're not expecting her to play in the corner. She might come back and help out the midfielders, might come back and help out the half back line. Her positioning will be key. Yeah,
she's got a huge engine, you know, and she carries ball up and down the field, and, you know, massive work rate from her, and expect her to pop up wherever Meath need a bit of help today. And I suppose if she does that, then that leaves a lot of space inside for the likes of Jane Dolan, and if Kilkenny have that spare player, then how they best position him will be key to them.
Well, Kilkenny just doing their last bit of warm-up before the game. Meath are in their huddle and we're getting ready. The referee for this game is Gavin Dunnigan from Dublin, a very experienced official as well. As we mentioned, this game has to be decided. If we're level after 60 minutes, we will have extra time. There was only a point between them when the sides met last year. Can Meath get into a semi-final of a national competition again? They'll feel disappointed. They only made the All-Ireland's intermediate semi-finals in 2020, but then again, Kilkenny in 2019 in this competition met the final before losing to Tipperary. They're back and they want to prove that Kilkenny have 2 teams ready to compete for national honours. Nearly ready to go, Elaine. Do you want to call this one before we get the throw in?
I'm not sure I can. Meath are going to play with a little bit of the breeze, whatever breeze is out there. And the ground is a little bit, obviously they've had some rain in Burr overnight, maybe early this morning. So the ground is a little bit slippy and a little bit greasy. And I know we commented on it last week. We've got AstroTurf goalmouths in there. So, if there is any action in there, there is a good bit of danger. But look, huge experience in the Meath team, but a little bit of youth from Kilkenny. So I might just tip Kilkenny in this one.
It is hard to judge the breeze there. Looks at times it's blowing to the right as you look at your screen. Kilkenny are attacking the goal to the right in the first half. Gavin Dunnigan just making sure that everybody is in position. All 30 players in the team look like that. Elaine will have to see if there's any big positional changes, but the ball is thrown in. The game is on. It's Kilkenny against Meath in Littlewoods, Ireland, the Division 2 National Camogie League quarter-final. Kilkenny getting the first opportunity of the game. It falls to number 12, Ciara O'Keefe. She puts the ball over the bar. Perfect start, not even 10 seconds.
Yeah, perfect start for Kilkenny, and a great ball pulled down in the middle of the field in the ground, and not something you see too often now, but really, really well controlled by Ciara O'Keefe there, who looked up, found herself in space and swung it over the bar, and as you said, a great start for Kilkenny.
The Meath goalkeeper is Maggie Randall, and she'd be happy to take her time before this puck out after conceding the early score for Meath. Let's see what she'll do now. She sends it out towards the middle of the field, out towards the right channel, and Ciara O'Keefe already with a second touch gets on the ball, but it's Laura Hegarty. One of those key players are not, my apologies, it was Tracy King from Meath. I'm mixing up my teams at the moment, but now Meath are on the attack, the far side of the field. Is this a chance for an equalising score? Meath go for the post. The ball has gone over the bar. 50 seconds into the game. It's Meath 1 point, it's Kilkenny 1 point, and it's Amy Gaffney with the score.
Yeah, massive response from Meath there, straight from the puck out, won it really well. Kilkenny looked to have it covered, but Meath capitalised, and a great score for Amy and a great response from Meath.
Sinead Farrell is the Kilkenny goalkeeper, and she restarts the play. It's a good long drive down the field towards the half-forward line, and that battle between Ciara O'Keefe and Tracy King will be one to watch over the course of the afternoon. Kilkenny making ground down the far side of the field, comes off a Meath stick. Good pressure being applied by Ciara Phelan, who's pushed up there, but actually going to be a Meath ball, and Maggie Randall gives another slitter out to the linesman the far side of the field. So Meath will restart the play, and Tracy King is the player, number 7, have the name right this time. They will restart with the line ball. So if you're just joining us here, the live coverage from St Brendan's Park in Burr, the Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 2 quarter-final, brought to you in association with Entry and the Camogie Association. It's Meath a point, Kilkenny a point. You've only missed 2 minutes of the action as Aoife Minogue with the yellow helmet tried to get on the ball from Meath, but it's Kilkenny in possession and bringing it back towards the 45-metre line. Anya Phelan finds a teammate out towards the right. That teammate is number 13, Sophie O'Dwyer. Sophie O'Dwyer moving in towards the left, trying to wiggle her way through 2 players. The referee says that she took too many steps, and it's going to be a free out for Meath. A good scoring chance there for Kilkenny.
Yeah, Sophie just, I suppose, thinking of the point and got the shout maybe from the sideline to go for the point, and just looked up, and credit to Meath, they had got the numbers back and just cut out that option for her and forced her to overcarry it. Probably a little bit sharp maybe, but she had the chance to take the score, and when it didn't come off, Meath happy to take the free.
Maeve Clint takes the free from Meath and sends it down towards the opposing 45-metre line. And number 10 is Grace Coleman there trying to get on the ball for Meath, and she has possession, gives the pass. The pass was intended for Aideen Slattery, doesn't materialise, and Kilkenny will clear the ball. And again out towards their half-forward line, they're ready to be rampant. Indeed, Anya Phelan wearing 14 is out in the half-forward line, but this is Ciara O'Keefe in the green helmet. Good pressure being applied by Tracy King, and Meath through Christina Troy managed to gain a few yards in towards the 45-metre line. Christina Troy on a run there, goes to the ground, looks for the pass again towards Aideen Slattery, not coming for her I should say. And Niamh Leahy, I got a touch there for Kilkenny, but again Meath refusing to make it easy. Megan Tyne instead down in the inside line. We were curious how she would start this game. It looks like it's a straight 15 against 15 for the moment. The Kilkenny defence up for the challenge. However, Jane Dolan gets the ball, sends it in towards no players land. 3 Kilkenny players on 1. Kilkenny have the ball again and will move it out towards the middle of the field, and the opportunity there for Meath doesn't materialise in a score, but they're not done yet as Leah Devine tries to get the ball. Somebody has lost their hurl. Play continues on, and the battle is just inside the Kilkenny 65-metre line. Christina Troy down towards the corner again, looking for Megan Tyne. Megan Tyne in a battle with the Kilkenny number 7, who is Laura Hegarty. Laura Hegarty wins it on this occasion. The ball goes out over the line. Plenty going on there, Elaine.
Yeah, and we can take a breath. Fantastic period of play there up and down the field. A couple of long clearances from Leanne Fennelly from Kilkenny there, but just failed to hold it in the Kilkenny half forward line, and Meath set up the attack again. And as you mentioned, great pressure from that Meath full forward line and half forward line just to stop any real clearances from Kilkenny, and huge work rate all over the field.
Christina Troy is going to take this line ball. I'd be curious, would she have a go at this? Just outside 20 metres, and if you're not familiar, it's 2 points for a sideline cut in Camogie. Doesn't happen too often, but it's a great spectacle when it does. Christina Troy, she was making headlines last week. What can she do in this occasion? As we look to 4.5 minutes gone in the game. 1 point apiece. Meath against Kilkenny, and a foul committed on the Kilkenny defender. It's going to be a free out for John Scott's side, and Laura Hegarty takes it again down towards the right, and towards the 45-metre line, was trying to find Ciara Phelan. And Meath's defence again just getting in the way. Dean Slattery, number 9, has been covering box to box at the moment. Looks for Leah Define. Well taken back there by Kilkenny. Ciara Phelan, the player that wins it back. And the battle just inside the 65-metre line as number 4 is Sophia Payne for Meath in the red helmet. Eva Minogue inside the 65-metre line. About to go. Good hook on the occasion by Aisling Curtis. Eva Minogue again kicks to the ground to play a bit of football, and Me Too. A few dual players on show as Christina Troy gives it to Jane Dolan. Jane Dolan is pure Camogie going on the run. Can she get the space for the shot? She has the advantage for the free. It's going to be a free in for the high challenge, and Me surely now Elaine will go 2-1 in front.
Yeah, and that's that experience that we're talking about from out around the middle of the field. Christina Troy into Jane Dolan, and the experience then of Eva Minogue as well. As we said, a huge physical threat in there, and you know, Kilkenny, I suppose, fortunate enough that they gave away the free out where it was and stopped Jane Dolan getting in maybe for a more dangerous position, but she'll happily take that free now and, as you said, extend their lead.
Jane Dolan didn't play against Dublin last week. She's playing this game. She puts the ball over the bar. Just under 6 minutes gone in the game, and it's Meath 2 points, Kilkenny 1.
Yeah, and you know, we've had a long period of play there where the ball has been up and down the field, so I think that score was crucially important, that whatever team could get it after coming out of that battle. And Sinead Farrell now with another long puck out.
Sinead Farrell, who went to school in Freshford National School, again inside the opposing 65-metre line. Can she get the half forwards on the line? Anya Phelan is one of them, where number 14 goes for a shot at the post. Well, that's a response if ever you wanted one. She puts it over the bar. 6 minutes gone. It's 2 apiece.
Yeah, and just as Meath responded to Kilkenny's opening score, Kilkenny responding kind there to that Meath score, and great point by Anya Phelan. Has been getting busy around there and has been on a lot of ball, but just opened up an opportunity there and slashes over the bar.
Maggie Randall has decided to show that she can puck the ball a good distance as well. Gets it inside the opposing 65-metre line, and Meath, after a bit of a challenge there, starts launching an attack again outside the 45-metre line. Nadine Slattery sending it down towards Grace Coleman. Grace Coleman goes for the post, and the umpires like it. It's gone over the bar, setting up nicely here, Elaine, for an entertaining afternoon. 3-2 to Meath.
Absolutely, and it's touch for touch, score for score so far, and anything Kilkenny have thrown at Meath, they've responded, and likewise Kilkenny will be looking for a response now to that point from Meath.
So Grace Coleman with that score. Sinead Farrell sends it again down the field again towards the half forward line. This is exactly the purists will like this type of game. Sophia Payne from Meath tried to get a touch. Christina Troy in the middle there as well, but it's Kilkenny through Ciara Phelan. Ciara Phelan on the 65-metre line, surrounded by 2 Meath players, showed the composure to send the ball into space, hoping Anya Phelan could get to that, but a Meath player just comes back to get the touch. I think it was Christina Troy, and it's going to be a line ball for Kilkenny right in front of us here in the commentary box, and it's going to be taken by Anya Phelan. So Anya Phelan just positioning the ball there outside 45 metres. I think Laura Hegarty wanted it quickly, but now she's been picked up. So Anya Phelan is going to send this in towards enemy territory, hoping, or she might try and go the distance herself, but this is going to fall in front of Maggie Randall. And Maggie Randall, easy like, gets the ball away, but out again. The pressure from the advancing Kilkenny attackers has gained another line ball. And Anya Phelan, I wonder, was she fancying a shot the last time? She might fancy a shot this time. I'm really setting them up in this game as 8 minutes gone. Anya Phelan, helped by a Meath substitute, to get the ball and gets ready now for another line ball. You might see in your screen there on the flanks, they're swirling away. It's really hard to tell who has the advantage with the elements. Anya Phelan looking for a good blade of grass. Can she get her side back on level terms? She seems happy enough with it. It hasn't looked. This might be going across the goal. Sides of position, it didn't get the touch on it that she wanted, but still Kilkenny have the opportunity through Ciara Phelan. Ciara Phelan well blocked down by Sophia Payne. Daniel Quigley wearing number 15 involved again, and the linesman this side of the field, Elaine, being kept very, very busy.
Yeah, it's all up this side of the field, and credit to Anya Phelan there. A great line ball initially. The second one probably not quite as good, and probably was looking at maybe a score, and Kilkenny just failed to recycle the ball. But Meath happy now to just take the sideline and maybe get out of a little bit of pressure, although it is down in the corner, so you know they'll be Kilkenny forwards will have to work hard in there.
Sophia Payne gets well underneath the sliotar, gets it down a bit towards Leah Define, where number 20. Leah passes the ball off to Louise Donoghue, and Louise Donoghue helps it up towards the 45-metre line, trying to find Aideen Slattery, but Aisling Curtis was there. Christina Troy coming in to help out, but Kilkenny also bringing in the reinforcements through Ciara Phelan, and Ciara Phelan's been kept going in the last few minutes in the middle of every battle for possession. We're right in front of the Meath management, and the referee there, you might hear him in the background, he's going to throw the ball in. But applause is there from the media people here to watch Kilkenny against Meath. It's thrown back in. Who'll get possession of the ball as we come up towards the 10-minute mark? Meath in front by a point, and Leah Devine has it. There hasn't been two between them yet in the game. She was fouled in the process of giving a pass to Aideen Slattery, and it's going to be another free out from Meath. They've weathered the pressure on this occasion.
Yeah, an important free for Meath to win there. You know, that ball had been down in that end of the field, and they'd quelled a couple of the Kilkenny attacks from sidelines and stuff now, so they'll be happy now to get the free and relieve that pressure and get the ball up into their danger area.
Christina Troy, the Meath captain. They'll feel silverware is determined for them, whether it's in league or championship. Getting ready to take this free. So as we look around there, the Meath attack just keeping themselves very, very mobile. Christina Troy looking to Jane Dolan, Amy Gaffney, Megan Tyne, all will be targets. A long ball down in the direction of Megan Tyne. She got a bit too much purchase on it. And Sinead Farrell, new goalkeeper from last year, gets it out towards the far side of the field. But Aoife Minogue in the yellow helmet is going to win this back for Meath. Little low ball down in the direction of Jane Dolan. And Jane Dolan might have Megan Tyne in front of her. Goes to the pass from Megan Tyne. Kilkenny needs to be careful. And the full back line not panicking at all. Happy enough to wait their chance. Send it out the field. Unfortunately for Kilkenny, they've given it away. Aoife Minogue will get another goal, turns it around to her wide, looks for the pass. The referee says she took too many steps, and it's going to be a free out for Kilkenny.
Yeah, Kilkenny will be happy enough to get away with that one on that occasion. You know, the ball bobbling around that full back line for probably a little bit longer than they would have liked. Took a little bit of a deflection and could have resulted in something more dangerous. So, as you said, another free now for Kilkenny from their own half back line.
So Kilkenny getting ready to restart the action. Tiffany Fitzgerald's in a long one towards the 45-metre line. Will it bounce one of her teammates there? They've certainly looked the target for Kilkenny. Get it to their half-forward line. Let them take on the Meath defence. But the Meath half-backs have been up for the challenge so far. Aisling Curtis sends it out towards the far side. But it's won on that occasion by Amy Gaffney, who looks like she'll be the mobile player today, covering defence and attack. And Amy Gaffney going on the move, officially down to start at wing forward, even though she's wearing 13. This time a pass to Aideen Slattery did hit the target. She just couldn't get it first time of asking. And Kilkenny with the little touches, just enough to take the ball, send it out the field again off a Meath stick. And it's going to be a Kilkenny ball, the far side of the field. Won't be too much longer now to the first water break of the game. The scoring, I suppose, has come in two blitzes, the scoring. Other than that, it's been lots of end-to-end action.
Yeah, we've had a lot of play, and the ball has been in play for long passages without scores, but, you know, some really quick-fire responses to both Meath and Kilkenny from the opposition scores. But as I said, each ball hotly contested out there around the middle of the field, and the scores just not quite flowing as freely as they were in the first few minutes.
Now, indeed, as Kilkenny get ready to restart play, they'll be anxious to get back on level terms as quick as they can. So Tiffany Fitzgerald again, cut out by Maeve Clence. We're number 6 for Meath, and now it's Tracy King. Tracy King with a long ball in towards the attack. This is the target for Meath. Get it to Jane Dolan. A great battle between Jane Dolan and Roisin Phelan in this game. Kilkenny just seem to be edging it at the moment, but that's no good for Kilkenny if they don't get it out the field. And the Meath artillery are ready to put any pressure on the half-back line if need be. But Kilkenny have managed to move the ball out towards the middle of the field, and winning the race again is Leah Devine. Leah Devine with a hand pass off to Christina Troy, and Christina Troy again down towards Jane Dolan. Can she get one into the hand? Not on that occasion, but Roisin Phelan takes it for Kilkenny out towards midfield, and this time it works its way towards Laura Green. And Laura Green in the green and white helmet down in towards the attack, trying to get the Kilkenny full forward line into the game. Sophia Payne has not made that easy for them so far. Ciara Phelan trying to walk the ball along the ground. They move it towards the 20-metre line. The red helmet is Sophie O'Dwyer for Kilkenny. This is number 15, Daniel Quigley. And Daniel Quigley, the angle was acute, but it was accurate. And Kilkenny finally get back in level terms. It's 3-3.
Yeah, and as we said, real end-to-end stuff. You know, Jane Dolan with a couple of possessions at the far end, and Kilkenny did really well to break it up, work the ball up the field through Laura Green in the middle of the field and down into that scoring position. And a great score from Danielle Quigley from out on the wing.
A brilliant score. We were just saying the inside line, trying to get into the game, and they combined well there. The reason there's a hold up and play, there is a Kilkenny player on the ground, so we're just going to have a break in play at the moment, and just trying to work out exactly who the player is there. But Lane, even as we keep an eye on the action there for the moment, we've said it already in the commentary, the purists will like it. Both teams going up and down and battling for possession as well. Very few players out of position in this game at the moment, and it just needs one team to take the scruff of the neck and get a few scores and put a gap up.
Yeah, you feel a goal would be a massive score in this game. As we said, it's been nip and tuck, and every time Meath have scored, Kilkenny have responded, and likewise with Kilkenny. A great point there from Danielle Quigley to get them back on even terms after a long passage of play, maybe without any score. But yeah, Meath probably have created the more open goal scoring chance at the moment. They haven't brought a save off Sinead Farrell yet, but they have been creating things up front. So, Kilkenny have coped well so far with it, and they'll hope to do that again, and at least to the water break in half time.
And you were saying that before the game as well, how the full back line would react, especially with Jane Dolan coming back into the team. But they've looked composed as well. Well, Jane Dolan has got on a couple of balls. It's 1 and 3, which she converted to. More times than not, Kilkenny, they've not panicked in there and have not made it easy for the Meath inside line. Yeah,
Jane Dolan obviously a target in there at full forward, and every time Christina Troy gets the ball in the middle of the field, she is looking up to get that ball into her, and she's a great striker of the ball, so it is meeting her. But credit to Leanne Fennelly, she's there to mop up a lot of them, and the little flicks and tricks that you would associate with Leanne there, mopping up and averting the danger.
Well, Sophie O'Dwyer was the player that was on the ground, but thankfully for Kilkenny, she's back on her feet, and play does resume here. 15 minutes gone, so we'll probably have another minute or two before the water break. Can Amy Gaffney make that count for Meath? Amy Gaffney with a long ball down towards Sinead Farrell's goal. Sinead Farrell needs to be careful because Megan Tyne is coming in, and she was careful. The player from Freshford gets it out towards the half-back line, but Kilkenny a bit laxy-daisy, and Amy Gaffney managed to get on the ball again. Tiffany Fitzgerald getting a touch on the stick to stop her pulling the trigger. Jane Dolan has come out to help out, but Kilkenny again, as Elaine just said, keeping it cool, win the ball and get it into the Meath half of the field again, and that's all they need to do on those occasions as they try and get their attack more into the contest. 3 points apiece, all to play for, level on 3 occasions, and great tussles in both the Meath attack, Meath defence, and likewise with Kilkenny. Kilkenny trying to move the ball out the field, but you can hear the rattle of the hurls, and both teams battling for every ball as Anya Phelan helps it along the ball to Hannah Scott in the white helmet gives the pass to Ciara Phelan. Ciara Phelan with the effort at the post, and that one is going to fall to the right and wide. I think that's the first wide of the game.
It is the first wide of the game, yeah. As I said, the ball has been in play for a lot of this first opening 16 or 17 minutes or so, and really hotly contested, as we heard there from the clashes and the ground hurling.
No wasting time there as Meath launching an attack. Aoife Minogue down towards Megan Tyne. Megan Tyne on the ball at the moment outside the 20-metre line. Turns on the left as the dual star being put under a bit of pressure. Lands into the hands of Sinead Farrell, the goalkeeper for Kilkenny. And she again sends the ball out the field. Great distance on her puck outs. And Kilkenny have an opportunity as Laura Green gives it to Anya Phelan. Anya Phelan just didn't take it the first time of asking. And any time that happens with either team, there's 2 opposition players in to put the pressure on. Hannah Scott might have more luck. Hannah Scott sending it in towards goal. There's nobody from Kilkenny inside, and Maggie Randall says thank you very much out towards the 45-metre line. Leah Devine to Christina Troy, and Christina Troy again a long one in towards the full forward line. They just needed to work once to Meath, and that could give them the advantage that they crave in this game. But Tiffany Fitzgerald with possession for Kilkenny finds a teammate, and we're back out towards the middle of the field again for Laura Green, and Laura Green goes on the run for Kilkenny inside the 45-metre line, stopped by Christina Troy. Is out a pass. The pass towards Laura Hegarty is pushed up the field. Sophia Payne just didn't have the height to get on that dropping ball, but she still manages to keep herself in possession. Has to be careful she doesn't foul the ball on the ground. She doesn't. The referee said so and decided the foul was committed in the end. And we're actually stopping for the water break, so it's finally come there as well. I wasn't too sure exactly for a moment we were going to have the free there or not. All square, we knew it would be close.
Yeah, I think the ref was waiting for a ball to go dead maybe before he called the water break, but there's no chance of that happening in this game. All square as we started the game, and probably significant as it probably reflects the first 16-17 minutes of that game. It has been all square. Everything has been hotly contested, and it's a huge battle out there and equal at the water break.
We were talking there about the Kilkenny full back line and the Meath half full forwards a moment ago, but of course right here in front of us in the commentary box, the Kilkenny half forwards and the Meath half backs, a lot of ball down there now. The different players have come in and out to get involved in the tussles, but you just get the feeling as the game goes on. We talked about midfield before the match, but the real battle seems to be happening there, and a lot of players are getting involved, not just these scheduled 6 who are meant to be there.
No, absolutely. There's a lot of bodies around that Meath half back line, and I suppose it's Christina Troy and Aideen Slattery dropping back to try and help that, and Kilkenny pushing up. And you do feel that when Kilkenny break that half back line, they are able to get the shots off, and they've had a couple fall short there now and one wide come to the end, but they are creating the chances and not afraid to take their scores if they do break that half back line.
Well, we have a dead ball to restart the play, and don't think any team will be wasting time. We saw what happened in a football match last week when Down got a goal against Roscommon before they were back on the field. So where the Meath are back ready to go. The referee blowing the whistle a second time for Kilkenny. So play to restart. 19 minutes gone in the game. 18:12 out on the official clock here in St Brendan's Park in Birr. This is the Littlewoods Ireland's National Camogie League Division 2 quarter-final, brought to you in association with Entry and the Camogie Association. Meath 3 points, Kilkenny 3 points. Play will restart on the Meath 45 metre line, and it is going to be a Meath free out because the referee actually hadn't signalled exactly who was getting that foul before we had the water break. So Maeve Clents to restart the play. Can she set up a Meath attack in the game? Down a good long drive there. Grace Coleman got a touch, but it's Laura Hegarty for Kilkenny that manages to stop her in her tracks. Help is coming in there from Aisling Curtis. Just can't get control of her feet. And now Megan Tyne has the ball. Danger here. Jane Dolan a chance for a shot. And the ball has gone off a Kilkenny defender out for a 45 metre line. You would have bet your house on Meath getting a goal. Dara Lane, it hasn't happened. They will get another opportunity and a let off for Kilkenny.
Yeah, huge let off for Kilkenny. As we said, goal would have been a big score in the game, and Megan Tyne did so well there to rob the Kilkenny player. I think it was Roisin Phelan, and just from that little back pass, and once Jane Dolan got in, as you said, bearing down on goal, you would have put your house on her. But credit to Sinead Farrell, she stood tall, made herself big, exactly what you tell a goalkeeper to do, and made a brilliant save and probably kept Kilkenny in this game.
We talked about how cool the Kilkenny defence were, but they certainly lost concentration in that moment. Jane Dolan takes the 45 for Kilkenny, or for Meath. She puts the ball over the bar. Meath do go in front. It's Meath 4 points, Kilkenny 3.
Yeah, and we'll expect a response from Kilkenny straight away as the game has gone. They'll be relieved to have got away with that. But as we said, Meath had been creating those chances. They had been getting more ball into that full forward line. So, something that Kilkenny need to be aware of when you have a goal poacher like Jane Dolan in around there. You just need to be careful with every possession.
Kilkenny, that would certainly refocus the mind, you would feel. They're on the launch again as Ciara O'Keefe tries to get a bit of space and sends it in towards the house there. The referee spotted a foul though, so it's going to be a free in for Kilkenny, and they'll get an immediate chance to restart the play. The referee running in towards the goal. The linesman the far side of the field is out, and I think is it Ciara O'Keefe that's going to be taking this. She's the player that's running to get the ball anyway. With regards to the intermediates, they don't seem to have an established name that gets high scores from them as well. Ciara O'Keefe will be taking the responsibility here as well. Is there any particular free takers that they normally would have, or is Ciara O'Keefe the main person?
Ciara, I think, is the main free taker with them, even though I don't think she's going to, it's changed now, she's not going to step over this one, maybe a little bit too far out. It's closer to the 65 I suppose, and if there is a bit of a breeze there, it is into the face of it, so a little bit longer out.
So there has been a change of free taker as well. Kilkenny getting ready to take this ball. Batted out there. Ciara O'Keefe went inside though. She might get a chance for a shot at a goal. It goes across the goal. It goes to the right and wide. And all of a sudden there, Ciara O'Keefe did not take the free. She got herself inside, and there was a bit of a goal chance there for Kilkenny. Yeah,
really good possession from her. Did really, really well to mop up Maggie Randall's save. She had blocked it down and hopped dangerously just in front of Ciara, and just maybe got a little half a block on it that just stopped it going on target.
Hannah Scott on the move there for Kilkenny, decides to go low down the centre, but it's going to again come into Maggie Randall's hands. Maggie Randall happy enough anytime any of the teams do that. Sophie O'Dwyer was the player that took the free a moment ago, and play is now the far side of the field, and Kilkenny are on the move again towards the 45 metre line in towards Sophie O'Dwyer. She looks around there. Would she go for a shot at the post? Not to be, says Louise Donoghue. Blocks the ball down, and Aoife Minogue comes back to help out Meath. And a long drive down the field, but into no player's land, and it's going to be a line ball the far side of the field for Kilkenny, and a chance for them to start another attack as they try and get themselves back in level terms. Since we've come back from the water break, both teams had a goal chance. Meath certainly a very, very good opportunity that did not materialise. Kilkenny restart the play. They're showing their danger in this game as well, but Ciara O'Keefe doesn't get a touch on the ball, and Tracy King has it now for Meath. worked it towards Christina Troy. She's been well shackled there by the Kilkenny player, but Christina Troy does not panic. She wins the free. And it's going to be a free for me, the far side of the field. She leaves it off for Aoife Minogue. Aoife Minogue is going to take the long range ones here, but I'd say again, this is going in towards the house, just inside the 65-metre line. Nearly 22 minutes gone in the first half of this Division 2 Camogie quarter-final. And Aoife Minogue, she was the main free taker last week, got 5 frees against Dublin. So Aoife Minogue takes her time. Burr goes silent. It's going to have the distance, will it have the accuracy? Not to be in this occasion. That ball goes to the left and wide lane.
Yeah, and possibly a poor wide for Meath. You know, it was a long way out. If they're not scoreable, you're probably better off playing them in around when you have the likes of Jane Dolan and Megan Tyne inside. But huge free from Aoife.
Sinead Farrell again out towards the middle of the field. Leah Define getting a touch on the ball, and Aoife Minogue has come out to help out the middle of the field. So Meath rotating the players that do drop back to help out the middle third. Christina Troy with the ball gets inside the 65-metre line on the run. Lovely little touch there from Daniel Quickly for Kilkenny to stop her in her tracks. And Laura Hegarty now on the 65-metre line going on a move, but surrounded. And there's some great, this time it was illegal, yes, but some great retakes of possession. Amy Gaffney thought she'd won the ball cleanly in that occasion, but Gavin Dunnigan doesn't agree as well. Some great skills of the game being shown.
Yeah, Danielle Quigley did really, really well there to chase down Christina Troy and just bided her time for that perfect second just to get that flick in and regain possession for Kilkenny. And then, as you said, Amy Gaffney with a like for Meath.
Well, Anya Phelan is taking the free for Kilkenny in this occasion. You might have noticed we paused the last time till we were sure who the free takers were. Anya Phelan sends a long ball down towards the house. Meath need to be careful because the danger here is Ciara O'Keefe tries to get a touch on the ball, and she's broken a hurl in the process, but it's gone over the bar. Kilkenny have to equalise and score. It's 4 points apiece.
Yeah, and that's something I think Meath will have to be careful of. There's a lot of ball being blocked down in that full back line there, and Kilkenny are quickest to react to it. It was Ciara O'Keefe on the last occasion, I think, and Ciara O'Keefe again there actually just to capitalise on the block down from Meath.
4 points apiece, level 4 times. Tracy King for me, down the right flank. Again, trying to get Jane Dolan involved. Jane Dolan starting the full forward, but comes out to the wing when need be. But Kilkenny starting to win some of those battles at wing back, especially the far side of the fields. However, as we said before, you can't give the ball away when you do the hard work. They haven't, they've won it back. Moving towards Sophie O'Dwyer. Sophie O'Dwyer wearing number 13 in towards the 45-metre line. And this might come nicely for Hannah Scott. Hannah Scott there gets on the ball. There goes for a run. Does Hannah Scott has support to her left and she wants to use it, but Hannah Scott tries to go herself. Surrounded by 3 players. Ciara Phelan with a shot, and it's a goal for Kilkenny. A goal for Kilkenny. It's come. There was 2 of them lining up, and Ciara Phelan, Elaine, was the player to finish it to the back of the net.
Yeah, great run there from Hannah Scott in from the sideline. Once she gained possession, she was heading straight for the goal. Looked like the opportunity may have passed, but did really, really well to get her hand free and get that hand pass across. And what a volley from the edge of the square. And we said a goal was going to be a big score in this game, so Meath will need to respond now.
The next score is going to be crucial, even this early in the game. Kilkenny lead by 3 points, and Daniel Quigley sends it in the direction of Ciara O'Keefe again, with a great tussle between Ciara O'Keefe and Tracy King. In Kilkenny, Ciara Phelan with the goal as Aidan Slattery goes to ground, and Sophie O'Dwyer tries to launch a Kilkenny attack. Meath have it back again. There's very few passages of play to go more than 2 or 3 players, but Jane Dolan is one that doesn't need any other player. She gets a bit of space, and Kilkenny are well aware of that battle for the ball. And now it's with Laura Green just inside the 65-metre line, and Kilkenny have turned it into an attack again. Can they add another score? Can they put 4 between them? Kilkenny on the move as Ciara Phelan the goal scorer. Down in the direction of Hannah Scott. The last time she won a race we saw what happened, and fullback Ellen Burke I should say needs to be careful. Sophia Payne, the player that wins the ball for me. 2 Kilkenny players go for the ball, and it's won by Meath, won by Christina Troy. Christina Troy to Aidan Slattery. She touches it along the ground for Aoife Minogue, who might do the same thing again. I think she was trying to pick it up, but it worked its way towards Amy Gaffney until Aoife Minogue goes on the move inside the 45-metre line, turns around, looks at her options. The options are across the field. The options are Megan Tyne. Megan Tyne on the 45-metre line has a look, is going to go for the post. This is a very, very important scoring opportunity. And Sinead Farrell, there was a Meath player coming in. Sinead Farrell wins the race, gets it out towards Laura Green. And Laura Green gives the pass to Daniel Quigley, who's thriving now since coming out around the middle third and getting involved in the game. Down again towards Hannah Scott. Hannah Scott against Ellen Burke has suddenly become the matchup of the game so far, and Ellen Burke wins it on this occasion. In towards the middle of the field, Megan Tyne Megan Tyne down the left, looks inside, looks for the passing options. The Kilkenny fullback, Roisin Phelan, equal to the task. End-to-end stuff again. Kilkenny have the ball through. Daniel Quigley, the referee blows the whistle and late again. More entertainment, end-to-end, exactly the way we want it.
Absolutely end-to-end and toe-to-toe from each of the players out there. You know, no quarter asked or given. Niamh Leahy did really, really well there, a cornerback from Kilkenny, just to get the hurl out in front and knock the ball away from the Meath danger inside. And Danielle Quigley then win a really important free around the middle of the field, and Anya Phelan with a chance from a long distance into the breeze, but it will be dropping around the danger zone.
Daniel Quigley won a Leinster title with Loretto Secondary School in 2020. It's Anya Phelan that takes the free. So still 3 between them there. Meath haven't managed to reply to the Kilkenny goal on the scoreboard yet. Ciara O'Keefe and Ciara Phelan, the two Ciaras, gives it to Anya Phelan. Ciara to Anya. Anya with a shot at the Phelan Brigade. The umpire has a look. Does he like it? He does like it. And Kilkenny go 4 in front. 28 minutes gone in the game. Anya Phelan with the point. It's 1-5 to 4 points.
Yeah, really good work from Anya Phelan. Had taken the free out on her own 65 and then drifted back in, and as that ball was recycled back out, got on the end of it and got a chance to stretch Kilkenny's lead.
Amy Gaffney will look to respond for Meath now. She tries to wiggle her way down the field and not being allowed to go too far. The referee says it's too many steps against the Meath players, so it's going to be a free out for Kilkenny. Tiffany Fitzgerald, no rush to take this as well. And you hear very vocal substitutes benches behind us here. Kilkenny and Meath giving their thoughts on the decisions. But Tiffany Fitzgerald restarts the play down towards the left, looking for Ciara O'Keefe. Tracy King got the touch. Referee says another Kilkenny free. The little break's going Kilkenny's way at the moment. Can they make them count? Sophie O'Dwyer is going out to take this free as well. So Anya Phelan's had her couple of goals. Sophie O'Dwyer coming back, and really if she manages to put this over the bar, Meath are going to be asking themselves how we suddenly 5 points down. Yeah,
difficult enough freeing it out on the sideline on 21, difficult enough angle, but you know, as you said, if Meath do concede this, they'll wonder how they were so close at the first water break, and as we said, toe to toe, and suddenly they find themselves down that 1-1 on the scoreboard.
So Sophie O'Dwyer with the free. The umpires have a good look. He's going for the white flag. He is. And if you're a Kilkenny supporter, you'll be liking what you're seeing here at the moment, because Kilkenny are gone 5 points in front. Sophie O'Dwyer, difficult effort from the left from a place ball. With Daniel Quigley from play from the right earlier on. 2 great points.
Yeah, great score. And as I said, it was a difficult one into the breeze and on the sideline from the 21. So a great score, and you know, a huge let off for Kilkenny. I suppose they stretched that lead a little bit, and from a game that was so close and nip and tuck for the first 7 or 8 minutes, it certainly has extended Kilkenny's lead there now.
Looks like it's Tiffany Fitzgerald, the far side of the field. I'm just trying to see there that has picked up a bit of a knock, so we're going to have another hold up and play officially on the clock here in St Brendan's Park. 29.5 minutes gone. Kilkenny 1-6, Meath 4 points. Tiffany Fitzgerald from Young Ireland's thankfully is okay. She'll restart playing. She's been a player that's been very active in this opening half as well. Again, like a lot of the Kilkenny defenders, as we said, never panicking despite the different players that have come on her as well, and there's one more ball since she's lost.
Yeah, Kilkenny have been really tight, really nippy and tuck at the back there, and getting in the all-important flicks and just taking the possession off Meath at the crucial time. And I think it may have been an off-the-ball instant maybe, and the ref has gone down to consult his umpires, so it'll be interesting to see what develops from here.
So we'll just have to find out that decision at the moment as Gavin Dunnigan get himself back in position. Maggie Randall actions to get on with the ball. Is he calling somebody over? It looks like he's having, is it Amy Gaffney? Amy Gaffney looks like she's walking in the direction of the referee.
Yeah, and she was the player that was in possession there that was blown for over-carrying a few minutes before that. So just before that, Kilkenny free. So interesting to see what decision he makes.
He's going the far side of the field now with the linesman and getting his thoughts on the game here as well. Big moment in this contest coming up. A lot of talking is going on, which can often be worrying if it's your own player involved in this. We didn't see the incident ourselves. We were following the play. Whatever happened off the ball. So this is a big moment here. He's spoken to his umpires. He's spoken to his linesman. Amy Gaffney, what's the decision going to be? There's going to be a card of some sort coming out. It's been a frustrating day for Amy Gaffney. Is it about to get worse? It's a yellow card and she'll be relieved with that in a way. Whatever happened to Elaine, Meath certainly could not afford to go down to 14 players.
No, and it was the first bit of silence I think I heard around Burr all day today while everyone waited to see what was going to happen there. But, you know, as you said, certainly a let off for Meath. Amy has been a key player for them so far today, and, you know, they're facing an uphill battle at the moment, and certainly that would have been made a lot more difficult if they were down to 14.
5 points between the teams. Kilkenny 1-6, Meath 4 points, and the battle's inside the 65-metre line. But at the moment, the ball is just falling for Kilkenny players whenever it's out to play for. Ciara Phelan in possession there, just knocks it out towards the left to Ciara O'Keefe. The two Ciaras have really stood out in this first half. Again, turns it around. Anya Phelan helping out as well. The last time those three players got together, a point resulted for Kilkenny. The Meath players, though, have never shirked the challenge, especially Sophia Payne, and she wins the ball, and Meath will launch a scoring opportunity here. Could this break from Megan Tyne? Not to be well read on that occasion. I think it is Niamh Leahy, the player that managed to get the touch on that ball. Indeed it was, and Kilkenny are moving it out towards the 65-metre line for Laura Green. Laura Green has a look up, sends it down the channel exactly where you want to put it. It goes out over the line, and it's going to be a Meath ball. We have played to over 2 minutes of added time as well. No indication has been given from the linesperson inside the field exactly how much time we are going to have. We had the water break. We've had a couple of stoppages in the game, so 3, 4, 5 minutes, maybe another minute or two in this first half remain, though there was a long break there before Amy Gaffney got her yellow card. Aoife Minogue, what can she do for me before half time? Or even Aideen Slattery out to Tracy King, and Tracy King ahead of Ciara O'Keefe. She can't afford to let the Kilkenny number 12 catch up. She hasn't. She's held on to the ball, looking around, sends it out towards the right. Jane Dolan out to help the attack, sends it in space for Amy Gaffney. And Kilkenny winning possession back again along the ground. Megan Tyne for Meath, but it's Kilkenny with the ball. And another Meath attack breaks down. What can Kilkenny do the far side of the field as Ciara Phelan tried to get a touch ahead of Maeve Clence. Goes out, it's going to be Kilkenny ball the far side of the field. This could well be the last scoring chance of the first half. And Kilkenny holding all the aces at the moment. So Anya Phelan is going to take it. One ball she decided to send towards the goal. The other she didn't get a connection off, and she was looking to make a pass. What's she going to do this time? So Anya Phelan gets some distance on it, but nobody from Kilkenny inside. Well, at least there's a bit of space in front, and Sophie O'Dwyer might win this race. Sophie O'Dwyer has it. Get away from Louise Donoghue, sends the ball across, looking for Laura Green. It was. Laura Green have another go at the post. Maggie Randall into her hands. Never a doubt about it, and the referee blows the half-time whistle. Kilkenny lead by 1-6 to 4 points in this Littlewoods Ireland Camogie Division 2 quarter-final. And Leanne Elwood, your first half thoughts?
Yeah, I suppose Meath would be disappointed at half time. As we said, they had gone toe to toe with Kilkenny for long periods of that first half, and possession was probably split fairly evenly, 50-50. But, you know, Kilkenny got that all crucial goal, and that's really what's between the sides at the minute. And once they got that goal, they regained a bit of composure, I suppose, and tacked on 2 further points to it. And Meath just scored with that 1 point since the water break, so they'll be disappointed with that. But from a Kilkenny point of view, as we said, you know, their full back line really, really calm, really composed on any ball that goes in there, and we know the danger threat that is in there, but they've coped admirably with it. And Sinead Farrell, when called upon, so, you know, Kilkenny have probably grown into this game a little bit, and they'll be happy to be 5 points up at half time.
So it's Kilkenny in front by 5 points. Ciara Phelan with the goal. We'll be back in about 10 minutes time with live coverage of the second half of the Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 2 quarter-final, brought to you in association with Entry and the Camogie Association here in St Brendan's Park. It's Kilkenny in front by 5. Kilkenny 1-6, Meath 4 points.
Our game is about more than sacrifice. Our game's about style.
Camogie is the fastest field sport in the world.
In our game, we play and create with flair.
Push, all the way through, really good.
We break records, smash ceilings, and shatter expectations. We live with our own expression.
I am the best.
We turn our style into art. We set real squad goals. On and off the pitch. We follow trailblazers and legends. And our game is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We forge our own path forward.
You want the new personal best? Come on, all the way, all the way. Yes.
Because our style is substance. And our style is here to stay.
So welcome back here to St Brendan's Park in Burr with this Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 2 quarter-final. I'm Darren Kelly here in the commentary box, joined by Elaine Aylward for our coverage brought to you in association with Entry and the Camogie Association. Elaine, both players are ready to go for the second half. So are we. We're just waiting for the referee who's working his way in.
Yeah, you know, both, I suppose, referee, players and ourselves glad of a break in that first half after a hectic first half and, as we said, end-to-end action. So, you know, Meath now will be looking to get a quick response, I think, and get a couple of scores on the board and just start to claw into that Kilkenny lead. They won't really want to let Kilkenny get too much further ahead if they can help it. We talked before the game about Meath scoring threat, and they've kept the players up. Yes, some have come back to help out around the middle, but never for a sustained period. So they're trying the 15 on 15. Hasn't materialised in the scoreboard so far, but that being said, they missed that golden goal opportunity just after the water break as Christina Troy launches the first attack in the second half, trying to find Grace Coleman. She's wearing number 10 in the white helmet, has been on the scoreboard so far. We'll give you the scores for both teams in just a moment, but it's a scramble, a ruck they call it, on the 45-metre line as Aoife Minogue wins the ball and tries to send it inside towards the attack, but the Kilkenny defence again just looking up, know what they're at, get the ball out the field and out towards the middle. Christina Troy wins it again outside the 45-metre line. This is a dangerous ball here. This is an opportunity for Megan Tyne. A chance, a shot, a goal for Meath, a goal for Meath. 40 seconds into the second half. What a way to start, and it's Megan Tyne. We wonder would she play half back. She played corner forward. It's in the back of the net. Yeah, we said they'd need a response, and that came from a great catch from Christina Troy in the middle of the field and long ball into that full forward line again, and had been looking for Jane Dolan for most of that first half, but found Megan Tyne and did really well in space to catch it and finish it really well past Sinead Farrell. An excellent goal from Megan Tyne. It's a 2-point ball game, and this game is back on. It's Meath 1-4, Kilkenny 1-6. Brendan Skehan will be happy with how his charges put the pressure on in the opening stages of the second half, and it's a 2-point ball game in St Brendan's Park in Burr. Now the question is, how can Kilkenny respond? Can they maintain their composure as Tiffany Fitzgerald sends an up and under down towards the half forward line, which lots of battles have taken place. Meath get the break at the moment. They win the free out, and that gives us a chance to give you the scores from Meath so far. 3 scores from Jane Dolan, 1 from play, 1 from a free, 1 from a 45. Grace Coleman with a point, and of course Megan Tyne with the goal for Meath. And Lane, looks like there's a Meath player just down at the moment. Yeah, just maybe got on the end of a swing there, I think, from the Kilkenny player. They've won their free, and you know, happy to settle it down now and look to launch another attack. But you know, the goal is the exact response Brendan would have looked for from his charges at half time, and it really pulls them back into this game and gives them a fighting chance now to claw back that 2-point lead. We are back on here as well, and of course if the game finishes level, as we mentioned, we will have extra time. A long way to go before our second live game later on. We hope you join us for that. Kilkenny against Limerick in the Division 1 Camogie quarter final. Just give you the Kilkenny scores in the game so far. They got 1-6 in that first half. The goal coming from Ciara Phelan, 2 points apiece for Ciara O'Keefe and Anya Phelan. There was also Daniel Quigley on target and Sophie O'Dwyer with a free, but just concerned for me at the moment. They won't want to lose any players. There's been no substitutions at half time that we have noticed in this game. A 2-point ball game here, and it just probably, if anything, Elaine, it just takes a bit of momentum out of Meath at the moment after the start they had, but thankfully for them, Ellen Burke is back on her feet. Yeah, probably a break Meath might really have needed. It gives Kilkenny a chance, I suppose, to just compose themselves again and defend this Meath attack. So Maeve Clinson's the one who chucked the free, got it down towards the opposing 45-metre line, but it's won back by Kilkenny and won by Laura Green, and Laura Green sent it down the other end of the field. Hurls are going flying. We can't say anybody dropped that one. It just went flying on itself, but Sophia Payne doesn't care. She's been very busy at number 4, has Sophia Payne in towards the middle of the field again. A battle between the two 65-metre lines. Who'll win this tussle on this occasion? Roisin Phelan pushed up the field, the captain for Kilkenny, wanted to lead her team into a semi-final next week. The ball goes out over the line, the far side, or the near side of the field I should say, and it's going to be Maeve Clintz to restart the play. Few positional switches, Elaine, if not any substitutions so far. Yeah, a couple of positional switches I suppose, as both teams get to know one another a bit more and try and get a foothold in whatever part of the field they can. Roisin Phelan pushed out the field on that occasion, but I think may just have followed her counterpart.
Amy Gaffney wins the ball from Meath, sends it in towards the goal, and Sinead Farrell needs to be very careful. The danger is not gone yet because Sinead Hackett has the ball, looks for Jane Dolan. Jane Dolan takes the first time a shot. A goal for Meath! A goal for Meath! That was worth the admittance fee. Spectators were allowed into the game, and Jane Dolan finally gets her goal. Meath are in front. It's Meath 2-4, Kilkenny 1-6.
Yeah, you could see the minute that ball was won by Meath on that far sideline, Jane Dolan took off with her run and really excellent ball across straight into her path. And Kilkenny may have averted the danger initially, but there was no stopping that shot from Jane, and a super score, and Meath now really pushing on.
It's Meath 2-4, it's Kilkenny 1-6. There was 5 between them at half time. All of a sudden, it's Meath in front. Can Kilkenny respond as Hannah Scott has a go at the post? The umpires have a look, they like it. The ball has gone over the bar. The sides are level. The second half is setting up nicely the way the first half finished. It's 2-4 to 1-7.
Yeah, and again, a brilliant response from Kilkenny there. A great score from Hannah Scott. Hannah is in full forward since midway through the first half and having a great battle there with Ellen Burke, and did really well to set up that original goal for Kilkenny in the first half.
Eva Minogue to 18 Slattery. She gives it to Christina Troy, and Christina Troy goes for a shot at the post. The umpires have decided to wave wide. I thought one was nodding to the other for a moment. We all paused for a second, but Christina Troy's effort is waved wide and it remains all square. 2-4 to Meath, who only scored one goal in the league campaign in their previous 3 games. 1-7 to Kilkenny. That's their second goal of this league campaign. And the battle again around the middle of the field as Ciara O'Keefe was kicking the ball. The referee spotted a foul. It's going to be a Meath free. Ciara O'Keefe staring at the referee there, not happy with the decision. I think she thinks she should have gotten the free. The referees realise he made a mistake. I didn't want to say it myself. My instincts were that was Kilkenny ball. It is a Kilkenny ball now, and a chance for Anya Phelan to try and put them back in front.
Yeah, I don't think John Scott had any hesitation about reminding him what way that free should have been going, and the ref giving him a little thumbs up on the way up to remind him, yeah, we have switched at half time, but a chance now for Anya Phelan. She's a strong striker of the ball, and as we said, she had plenty of distance in the first half into the breeze, so should certainly be getting this within range of the goal.
Yeah, the way Ciara O'Keefe stared at the referee anyway, I wouldn't like to be in the end of that if she was in bad form, but Anya Phelan getting ready to take the free for Kilkenny. Looks like the wind is with them in the second half, but it has been swirling as we've mentioned before as Anya Phelan sends it down towards the house. Hannah Scott tried to get on it, but the ball goes out over the right and wide. Meath had the bodies back on that occasion.
Yeah, and happy to see it out wide. Hannah probably would have done better maybe just to try to block it, to keep it back into play rather than trying to double on it to keep it going, but a chance there for Meath again from the puck out.
So back out towards the middle of the field, as it looked like in that occasion there, Leanne Finley was trying to launch Kilkenny attack. She didn't get the ball, but there was a player there to help out, and it's down inside the 45-metre line. Ciara O'Keefe, well involved in the action, wins the free. The clash with Tracy King. How many balls have they contested in this game so far? But this time it's going to be Sophie O'Dwyer. Anya Phelan took the one out further a minute ago, but Sophie O'Dwyer has gotten a free from the left, a bit more of an acute angle before half time. Can she put Kilkenny back in front? Certainly rattled at the start of the second half, conceding those 2 goals to Meath. But Sophie O'Dwyer getting ready. Meath, the players are back, the hands are up. They want to make sure they don't fall for anything here as Sophie O'Dwyer gets ready to take the free. The player from James Stevens takes the free for Kilkenny. It's going to tail across. The umpire says it's gone over the bar, and it's a point for Sophie O'Dwyer. It's a point for Kilkenny, and it's 1-8 to 2-4.
Yeah, an important point for Kilkenny as well. They're just erasing that first goal that Meath got after half time, and another super free from Sophie.
So now again battling towards the middle of the field. Players collide. The referee spots a push. It's going to be a Meath free. So Christina Troy is going to take this, just checking that 18 Slattery is okay. Kilkenny are getting a substitute ready, so we will see the first move from either of the managers in the next few minutes. 8 minutes gone in the second half. Kilkenny 1-8, that's 11 points. Meath 2-4. Christina Troy will want to put that back on all square. Takes the free, sends it down in towards the attack again. Jane Dolan along the ground waiting for Christina Troy. You can see they've worked in this in the training ground. 45 yards out, and it's going to drop towards the goal, and there was a player coming in, Aoife Minogue. She goes to the ground. The ball has gone wide. Aoife Minogue might have got it touched there. She's getting back up thankfully for herself, but me just showing that threat again. But an excellent link up of play between Christina Troy and Jane Dolan.
Yeah, super little bit of play by Christina Troy. Saw the run of Dolan down into the corner, did really well to get the free down to her. Dolan didn't take it on the first turn, but happy to play it back out to Christina Troy, and her shot, I think, for an attempted point dropped in, and Kilkenny lucky that Aoife Minogue didn't get on the end of it.
Tracy King is on the move now outside the 45-metre line, sends it in towards the attack towards Sinead Hackett. Sinead Hackett with the ball in towards the inside line, looking for Jane Dolan, and Roisin Phelan is back to take on Jane Dolan on this occasion, but Meath are not finished yet. Ball goes out over the line right in front of us here, and it's going to be a line ball for Kilkenny. Sophia Payne, who pushed forward, didn't agree with the decision. Sophia Payne in 2019 was a Meath Football Club Player of the Year nominee. A lot of dual players playing in Meath. Of course, they are the All-Ireland Intermediate Football Champions. They won the Camogie All-Ireland in 2017. They won this competition in this very ground back in 2016 when they beat Galway. And we say a shout out to Aoife Maguire, the captain that day, of course, retired after 2020. No doubt she's following our coverage here from St. Brendan's Park in Burr. It's bringing back memories, but she'll be cheering on the green and gold, hoping that they can get over the line and get into a semi-final next week. Anya Phelan sends it across towards Sophie O'Dwyer. Great take from Sophie O'Dwyer. Now can she get the score out of it? It's towards the post. It's gone over the bar. An excellent point from Kilkenny. An excellent take from Sophie O'Dwyer. And Kilkenny are 2 in front.
Yeah, super bit of play there from the sideline across to Sophie. And Sophie with that wonderful takedown and a lovely skill to take the ball just down, deaden it on the hurl and pivot and take that score. And Kilkenny just finding their groove again now since they were rocketed with those 2 goals just after half time.
3 points in a row for Kilkenny has put them 2 points in front. 1-9 to Kilkenny, 2-4 to Meath. And again the battle around between the 45 and the 65-metre line, and Meath have the hope now that they're having huffs and puffs and run out of options here as Kilkenny start to win those little breaks again. But Sophia Payne, another player that's really tried for Meath in this game. She's been in the middle of everything, whether it's in defence or in attack. She's been battling for the ball, but Kilkenny have had battlers as well in this match, and they move it out towards the left flank again. But Aoife Minogue is back to help out Meath, sends it up the field but doesn't get too far. And that's Niamh Leahy wearing number 2 for Kilkenny. Sends it across. The pass to Laura Green. Laura Green getting hooked by Amy Gaffney. And Amy Gaffney with the white boots. Niamh Leahy takes it back. Sophie O'Dwyer goes for it. Is it going to drop? Maggie Randall to be very, very careful there. Chances there, a goal. It's gone across the line. And I don't know how that ball didn't go in. There's a player on the ground. The goalkeeper has picked up an injury at the moment. And Elaine, I was convinced we had the second Kilkenny goal.
Yeah, certainly looked like it. Maggie Randall came out off the line really well, looked to have it under control and just slipped out of her hand, and as it did, Hannah Scott was bearing down on goal there, and I don't know how it stayed out across the line there, especially on the, as we said, the AstroTurf surface, but Meath did keep it out, and Maggie Randall down now seeking attention, but Kilkenny just growing into this game in the last few minutes there again.
So concern for Meath at the moment for their goalkeeper Maggie Randall, who's been very composed. Just I think that the only ball she's dropped out of her hand in the whole match so far, but she's receiving some treatment and she should be okay. She's getting back to her feet, and it remains a 2-point ball game with Kilkenny holding the advantage. So play will restart on the 20-metre line. Looks like the referee's going to throw the ball in. 12 minutes gone. 18 to go. Will that be the end of it between Meath and Kilkenny? This is a very important ball now, especially for Meath, as they want to stop Kilkenny's scoring run building up again. So again, Maggie Randall receiving treatment down there, and she's such an important player for Meath, Elaine, like not just in her performance today, but we'll be well familiar from watching her over the years as well, and like, she's brings that composure, that leadership between the sticks.
Yeah, huge voice there back between the poles and keeping that Meath defence intact there in front of her, so you know they'll obviously be anxious to get her back on her feet and back into the action. So the referee just waiting to make sure the Meath goalkeeper is okay. Maggie Randall, of course, has helped out coaching Superstars Hurl Smart Week in the past as well, and has been very, very important in the development of the camogie and hurling, for that matter, in County Meath. Meath might be known as a football county, but as a big portion of that county, they'll tell you otherwise. Play has restarted. Can they qualify in this camogie competition and make a Final Four on the national stage again? Kilkenny
determined to get themselves back there after missing out in their All-Ireland Championship last year, but the ball is going to be a free in for Kilkenny. Anya Phelan is on the ground. We might have another hold up and play. And Anya Phelan, we haven't talked about her as much as some of the other players in this game so far, but she is another player that has given everything to the cause in this match.
Yeah, she certainly has. She's been very busy on that half forward line and getting on a lot of ball and winning a lot of dirty ball and a lot of that ruck ball and keeping it moving forward. So, her free taking and her sidelines alone have been instrumental in the game, but from play as well, may not be getting her name on the scoreboard as freely as some of the rest of them, but certainly getting through an ocean of work there.
Anya Phelan was one of 4 changes to the Kilkenny team coming into this game from the side to beat Laois 110 to 7 points 2 weeks ago. The options that are available for John Scott for the Kilkenny second team just goes to show how strong the game is in the county at the moment. They are determined at senior level to win back-to-back All-Irelands, and their intermediates are determined to be able to shout at making in Croke Park in the second week of September. Sophie O'Dwyer is going to take the free for Kilkenny. This looks good. The umpires have a look. It's gone over the bar. 14 and a half minutes gone in the second half. There's 3 between them again. It's 110 to 2-4.
Yeah, another super free from Sophie there, and as I said, you could nearly have it marked down before she took it. It was difficult, but by Sophie's standards, not at all.
Aoife Minogue is on the run. A bit of space opens up for her. She's Jane Dolan to the left, but Aoife Minogue is going herself. Can she time the pass? She times the pass to Jane Dolan. She might go low. Jane Dolan didn't get the connection on that she wanted. It could have been awkward, but Sinead Farrell says that's okay, I can take that, and sends it out towards the 45 metre line again, but I'd imagine it might come back again soon. There's 3 Meath players against 2 from Kilkenny. Can Leah Devine move the ball inside the 45 metre line? She thought she could, not to be. Kilkenny have it back, and now Kilkenny will move towards the 65 metre line. Just like we said in the first half, Meath would not want Kilkenny to go 4 in front, especially after getting those 2 goals before half time. Tracy King is the number 7 for Meath, but she's been put under pressure by Sophie O'Dwyer. There's again a ruck, a battle like a scrum. Can Kilkenny get it? Can Meath hold on to it? That is the question. Meath have possession of the ball. They bring it outside the 20 metre line to the left of the D, and it's driven down the field again towards the middle of the park. And Ciara Phelan wiggles her way between 2 Meath players, goes on the run, gets blocked down, but another player there, I think it was Daniel Quigley, to hit it along the ground. Aoife Minogue for Meath. And Aoife Minogue sends it in towards enemy territory again, but Kilkenny just seem to be organising their troops that bit better at the moment. Laura Hegarty sending it back down to the left again. Kilkenny attacking the goal into our left in the second half. Ciara O'Keefe with the ball. Can she get a shot at the post or even something better? Not to be. Cut out on that occasion. I think it was Tracy King back to help out Meath. And again, you can just see that I'm just having a look around there. Meath might have pulled a player back to deal with the Kilkenny threat at the moment. We will see if that is a permanent fixture in their setup for the second half. Louise Donoghue gets it out towards Aoife Minogue. Aoife Minogue spots the advancing Christina Troy. Christina Troy in her own 65 metre line. Long ball down towards the attack, looking for Jane Dolan. Kilkenny have the 2 bodies there. Niamh Lahey was coming in to help out as well, but it's still Jane Dolan has a teammate in front. That teammate is Sinead Hackett, and Sinead Hackett goes in a run, sends it across towards Megan Tyne, who got the first goal for me. Can she get a bit of space here? She has a bit of space. She's a player to the right. She'll go for the point herself. The wise option, put the ball over the bar, get a score into Kilkenny's run. I think we're having the water break. It's a 2-point ball game.
Yeah, great response for Meath, and just before that water break really gets them back into it. Kilkenny had been in a scoreable position on a couple of occasions there and just hadn't made it count, and Meath, as you said, had brought players back. Aoife Minogue had come really, really deep, and one of her clearances actually landed straight into the path of Leanne Fennelly back where she should have been herself, but they recovered well, and when it mattered most, Jane Dolan came out to win that ball, lay it off inside to Sinead Hackett and on and get that score for Megan Tyne. So maybe looking at something a little bit bigger, but happy to take her point just before the water break and keep Meath in touch.
They got the 2 goals there in the opening 4 minutes of the second half, but didn't win 13 minutes without a score until that point. In the meantime, Kilkenny getting 4 points. They nearly got a second goal themselves. Like, we know there's an official water break for 60 seconds, but we know words are going to be mentioned both camps as well, especially now in Meath's side of things. What will Brendan Skeen be saying to his troops for these final 15 minutes?
He'll be looking for them to start the way they started that second half. He'll know now that there's goals in there. We mentioned beforehand that they hadn't maybe been scoring them as freely as they would have hoped. They know now that there is chances and there is goals in there, but at the same time they're going to want to stop conceding scores at the back, cut out the frees, work hard back there and try and work that ball into that full forward line, and they look to create something. It's league Camogie, but this is the last 15 minutes maybe that they'll have before championship if they don't put it in here today, so he'll be looking for them to throw it all at it and to get a result.
And with John Scott as well, bar that 4-minute period where they conceded the 2 goals, he'd be reasonably happy with the performance of his team. Will he be saying more of the same, or will he be saying, listen, you have to keep your concentration here?
Yeah, he won concentration in that full back line. We've seen what Meath can create up there, and a couple of lapses in Kilkenny concentration has resulted in those 2 goals, and that half chance again just before half time, so he won't want to concede any more of those, and he'll want to keep the scoreboard ticking over at the other end and see this game out now. So a big 15 minutes ahead.
So it's 110 to Kilkenny, just 13 points, 2-5 to Meath, that's 11. This is the Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 2 quarter-final in St Brendan's Park in Birr, brought to you in association with Entry and the Camogie Association, and a big 15 minutes is laid set ahead for both teams, especially Meath. Can they get into a semi-final, or can Kilkenny maintain the advantage and get those crucial scores and get themselves over the line? We will find out now as we get ready to restart the action. So it's Sinead Farrell, the Kilkenny goalkeeper, that will kick it off. The clock has restarted here in Birr. Sinead Farrell with a long drive down, tried to find Daniel quickly, not to be. Leah Devine has it for Meath, outside her own 45-metre line. Gets it up towards the 65, but pressure applied by Kilkenny. Ciara Phelan was there too, but the other number 11, Aoife Minogue, that has it. Shows a bit of footwork, but she's won the free. And Meath will get the first scoring chance of the final quarter of this match.
Yeah, and Aoife has dropped really, really deep now on Sinead Farrell's puck out there. She was back just sitting inside her own centre-back in front of me, just that centre-back there. So she will drop deep, and she's capable of either running from there then or striking. So that's something Kilkenny will have to watch. Will they go and pick her up, or will they leave her free where she is?
Christina Troy is going to take this free for Meath inside the 65-metre line. If she goes for herself and it's well within her range, it'll give Meath a lift. So Christina Troy gets ready to go for the post. The umpires have a good look. The ball has gone over the bar. That's the lift that Meath needed. Christina Troy with the score. It's 2-6 to 110.
Yeah, really, really important score for Meath there, and what a player to deliver it. She's been really, really busy throughout midfield all day today and has been on a lot of possession for Meath and is capable of creating big things up front.
110 to Kilkenny, 2-6 to Meath, and Meath win the ball. Grace Coleman, who took possession there but loses out as Tiffany Fitzgerald moves it for Kilkenny, gives it out to Anya Phelan tried to find Ciara O'Keefe in front of her, but Maeve Clinton gets in the way, wins it back. Can she find Aoife Minogue? Indeed she does find Aoife Minogue, and Aoife Minogue will send it down towards the attack again, towards the inside line. Niamh Lahey for Kilkenny in the yellow helmet, we're number 2, but Maura Kirby is the substitute for Meath that has come on the field. We'll confirm who she came on for in just a moment. She came on during the last water break there as well. Can she get a crucial score for Meath before this game finishes? Amy Gaffney is there for Meath, sees a player the far side of the field. That player is Aideen Slattery. Kilkenny just organising their defending players. Amy Gaffney was taken down. It's going to be a free in for Meath, who certainly wasn't going anywhere with that challenge, no. Elaine, but Meath will get a chance to level this match up.
Yeah, certainly not, and probably a foolish free to give away from a Kilkenny point of view. I think the danger was nearly averted. Amy Gaffney probably in a better position originally before she played that ball across, but as she did, a serious free to give away, and a chance now for Jane Dolan, I presume, to get Meath back in touch again.
Laura Hegarty has gotten a yellow card for that challenge. Jane Dolan going to take the free. This will level the sides up with just over 10 minutes to go. Amy Gaffney is back on her feet. She has been in the wars in this match, but all eyes are in Jane Dolan in the white helmet. Can she make it all square again? Jane Dolan takes the free. There was never a doubt about it. The sides are level. 2-7 to 110. We could be having a long afternoon here, Elaine.
Yeah, we could be right up to the second game here today, but a really important puck out now for Kilkenny, and I think it's really important that they win this puck out. Meath have been winning the last couple of Sinead Farrell's, and that has been causing Kilkenny problem at the back, so Kilkenny really need a player now to stand up and get a hand to this puck out.
The teams have level 4 times in the first 25 minutes. That's the 6th time now that they're level, and Meath with a bit of momentum now as Aideen Slattery is pushed up the field. What can she do in attack here as well as Aideen Slattery goes in the run there now, tries to work her way inside there, kicks it along the ground, cut out by Aisling Curtis I think it was, and it's Roisin Phelan with the ball for Kilkenny out the far side of the field. It's Kilkenny inside the 65-metre line looking for the options. Ball in towards the middle of the park, and Kilkenny just can't seem to keep control of the sliotar at the moment. moment. Tiffany Fitzgerald might have more luck. Sends it in front of Anya Phelan, but only as far as Maeve Clinton. She gives it to Christina Troy, and Christina Troy was in a long diagonal ball down for Megan Tyne, and Megan Tyne might like this if she can get herself ready to turn and take on Niamh Larry. Gets a bit of space, goes for a shot at the post. The umpires have a look not to be on this occasion, and that ball goes to the left and wide. Sinead Farrell wasting no time, of course. Now in Camogie, as soon as the ball goes wide, you can puck it out straight away, and Sinead Farrell off to do that. And it's Kilkenny now. Aisling Curtis in the black and white helmet with the ball. The two number 8s going up against each other. Christina Troy, of course, the number 8 for Meath. The ball scrambles out over the line, and it's going to be a Meath ball.
Yeah, Meath putting savage pressure on the Kilkenny forwards. Now anytime they get up to this half of the field, and Kilkenny probably guilty on that previous occasion of just playing a little bit too short, and a few short hand passes and flicks that have just been intercepted by Meath, and the intensity that they're bringing to it.
Sophia Payne misses it the first time, but hits it the second time and finds Aoife Minogue among that scrum of players inside the 45-metre line. She kept the ball in even if her feet went out for a moment, so this is perfectly legal, and Aoife Minogue is on the run here. Suddenly she gets within range. Roisin Phelan tries to get a hook, help comes in, and Meath, it's Jane Dolan looking to see if there a gap through. She decides to try and hit a pass across to Megan Tyne. She probably should have gone for the score, maybe more. Kirby, when she goes for a shot, it took a bounce and it goes to the right and wide, and a big opportunity again for Meath.
Yeah, Meath with a couple of opportunities there, probably to put that one over the bar and just to nudge ahead. Aoife Minogue just ran out of options, maybe couldn't catch it on the last occasion and opted to play it off the hurl. And you know, Kilkenny living on the edge back there at the moment and really failing to make any inroads on their other end.
Sinead Farrell sends it out the far side of the field. Bats down. Megan Tyne might read this but doesn't get there. Laura Hegarty with the ball for Kilkenny into open space. Will it stay in play? Anna Scott came out to meet it, but it's Sophia Payne that wins it for Meath, and Meath moving it down the left as well. You really couldn't call it at the moment. All square here in St Brendan's Park in Burr as Aoife Minogue across towards Jane Dolan. Jane Dolan puts the hurl up, showing her experience. Tried to get underneath. Roisin Phelan, not to be, and Aisling Curtis is the one that takes it for Kilkenny. And down the left, down for Ciara O'Keefe if it stays in play. She has to be careful. Tracy King never too far away. Ciara O'Keefe on the 45-metre line sends it across. Leah Devine wins it back from Meath, gives it to Sophia Payne, and Sophia Payne into her space in front of Jane Dolan. Jane Dolan gets the hand to it but couldn't hold on to the ball, but thankfully for her, Christina Troy was there to help out. The two of them there, and Kilkenny not concentrating, leave Jane Dolan full of space there. She looks up and sends it down towards Megan Tyne. Megan Tyne loses out on this occasion. Tiffany Fitzgerald looks like she's gone down on her there, and Kilkenny moving it out towards the middle of the field again for Aisling Curtis. Good control from Daniel Quigley, I should say. Daniel Quigley on the move. It's Ciara Phelan. Ciara Phelan goes for a shot at the post. Maggie Randall needs to be careful, was taking no chances. Hannah Scott is there for Kilkenny but couldn't get the ball. Ellen Burke marking her tightly. She's wearing number 3 for Meath. It's back to Sophie O'Dwyer, and Sophie O'Dwyer goes to the post and puts it over the bar. Took us a while to get the score. It's Kilkenny who get it. They're in front, 111 to 2-7.
Yeah, and Meath probably with the better of the chances in that little bit of play, and it was up and down the field, and it fell to, you know, Jane Dolan on occasion, but credit to Hannah Scott once she got that chance there, did really well to retain possession, and then Sophie Dwyer coming off her shoulder and a great shot. And you know, you feel if Kilkenny can get ball into that full forward line into Hannah Scott and Sophie Dwyer, they are capable of scores, but they just haven't been able to get enough in there for often enough in the second half.
Aoife Hines is on for Kilkenny. She's wearing number 28. She replaces Laura Green. Aoife Hines started in the game against Laois. Kilkenny on the move again. They have their noses in front. Can Meath hit them back again as Tiffany Fitzgerald sends it down towards the attack, and Sophia Payne covering a log ground. Jane Dolan back in her own 20-metre line, helping out the defence, but Sophie O'Dwyer is up to the challenge as well. She wins it back, and Jane Dolan hooks it back of her too, and it's Tracy King. Tracy King hits the linesman in the process. A bit of a tussle between two players. Tensions are building a little bit, Elaine.
Yeah, you'd know we're coming into the home straight and that this is a one-score game. A lot of pressure on both sets of players down there, and Kilkenny did really, really well, I suppose, to pin Sophia Payne and the Meath defence back in there, and happy now to take the sideline. And we've seen Anya Phelan cut a couple of decent sideline balls today, so she'll be hoping to get this all the way in towards Maggie Randall's goal.
So Anya Phelan is getting ready to take this line ball. You can just feel how much it means to both teams at the moment, all to play for. As Anya Phelan gets good distance on it, can I find a teammate? Ellen Burke comes out for Meath, gets the first touch. Leah Devine with the second touch, and he gets outside the 45-metre line. Aideen Slattery trying to sell the dummy. It's Aoife Hines for Kilkenny. Anya Phelan sends it towards the goal. Maggie Randall again, not willing to take it into the hand. Daniel Quigley, can she get the touch there? And Meath are making problems themselves. And Meath will want to be very, very careful, you would feel, because Kilkenny are applying the pressure and they're feeling it, are Meath. Crossfield ball across. Kilkenny put 2 between them. We know Meath are well capable of getting another goal. They've scored 2, they've missed 2. Who'll take possession out of this? It's Ciara O'Keefe. Ciara O'Keefe goes for a shot at the post and Maggie Randall batting it down a third time. The referee has spotted a foul. It's going to be a free out. Interesting there with the pressure that Kilkenny were putting on the Meath defence. Maggie Randall not opting to take the ball by hand at any stage, batting it out, but Meath were certainly having problems there in their full back line.
Yeah, and it's something the Meath goalie and Meath defence have been, guilty of for a lot of this game is batting the ball rather than taking possession in there. And when you have forwards the likes of Hannah Scott and Sophie O'Dwyer nipping in around there, it's a dangerous game to play. If that ball hops right into their hand, you're leaving yourself wide open at the back. So, you sense from the last few minutes there that, Kilkenny will be disappointed they didn't get a score out of that and that they've conceded the free to Meath and allowed them to reset and maybe launch one last attack on the Kilkenny goal.
Sophie Healy is on from Meath. A bit surprising. I think that Sophia Payne is the player that's making way, but that's the decision of the Meath management. We restart the action through Maggie Randall, but it's Kilkenny who have the ball, and Eva Hines, what a start to this. Her introduction gives us to Ciara Phelan, who got the goal in the first half for Kilkenny. Sends it down in towards space, looking for Hannah Scott. Hannah Scott against Ellen Burke. And Hannah Scott has been causing problems throughout the game. Has Anya Phelan there for support as well, trying to move it in the direction of Ciara O'Keefe. Tracy King with a touch along the ground, and Ellen Burke again up against Hannah Scott. That's the battle the far side of the field, as there's 1 point between the teams. 2.5 minutes of normal time remaining. The referee blows the whistle. I'd say he'll be throwing this in a lane.
Yeah, and what a huge battle Ellen Burke and Hannah Scott have had since Hannah Scott went in full forward there today. Hannah did really well, as we said, to create that goal in the first half, but they've had a massive battle since, and Kilkenny will be happy enough now if they can play out the remaining few minutes down in this half of the Meath field and keep the pressure on the Meath backs.
Elaine, we'll be getting you to have your thoughts about player of the match in a moment, but we won't get you to call it until we know there's definitely a winner in these 60 minutes because, as we said already, rule nothing out. Just 1 between them, and Meath have possession. They're the side chasing the 1 point. There was only 1 point between these two teams the last time they met 15 months ago in March 2020, the last game before the original COVID-19 lockdown. How great it is to be back watching Camogie, and how great it'll be to see spectators return over the next few weeks, and the test pilot events that are coming up, including the National Camogie League final in Croke Park on the 20th of June. It's only over 2 weeks away. Meath have a free. There's a Meath player on the ground. The far side of the field looks like Leah Devine, and there's going to be a hold up and play. The referee is having a word with his lines person. Is going to call over Anya Phelan for a chat. You get the feeling it's going to be another yellow card on this occasion. It doesn't look too serious a conversation. We're a bit worried for Amy Gaffney in the first half here as well. I'd be surprised if it's anything more than yellow here. Indeed, it is a yellow card. 1 each for them there with regards linesman consultations.
Yeah, and I didn't actually see what happened on that occasion either, but obviously it's resulted in a Meath free and no prizes for guessing where Christina Troy will go with this one and who she'll try to find inside in that Meath full forward line.
This is a big moment for me. Christina Troy sending it in. We're in the last minute of normal time. There'll be a bit of added time on top of that. Megan Tyne has the ball for Meath. Bit of it came to Aoife Minogue. I thought she'd missed the player for a moment. Aoife Minogue decides to hit it low. I think she was hooked in the process. Meath really need to be taking a point at the moment that the opportunity presents itself and get themselves back on level terms. And it's Kilkenny's defence holding on to it, and Roisin Phelan will move it out the field again, out the far side, and it came off of Meath sticks as the linesman, and it's going to be a Kilkenny ball. Me don't agree with the decision, but the linesman said it came off the Meath stick, so it's going to be a line ball for Kilkenny.
Yeah, and a poor decision from Aoife Minogue there. I thought she had the chance to take that point and to put the ball over the bar, but opted to go low instead, and really well dealt with on the line by Ciara Murphy, and Kilkenny escape at the back again.
And Kilkenny will take their time with this. It will be 4 minutes of added time, we've been told. So 4 minutes to go in this game. Can Meath get back level or even get in front? Or can Kilkenny squeeze this out and book their place in the semi-finals of Division 2 of the National Camogie League, sponsored by Littlewoods Ireland? Meath, I should say, have the ball. They're inside the Kilkenny 65-year line through Aideen Slattery. Aideen Slattery lays the ball off, gives it to Tracy King. Tracy King in towards the attack. and Grace Coleman there, I think, trying to get a touch on it, but the battle comes out for Jane Dolan. Jane Dolan goes to ground. Kilkenny hit the bodies there. They won the ball back cleanly, but they haven't cleared it, and Meath will get a chance again through Amy Gaffney. Amy Gaffney sending it in towards the house, and it's well watched there by Sinead Farrell. The ball trickles out wide, but that ball was going so slow, anybody could have got a touch on that.
And it was hanging, and Aoife Minogue was stretching for it inside there in the full forward line and just couldn't quite get a hurl to it. And, you know, credit to Sinead Farrell, she was more confident, I think, than anyone else on the field that it was dropping to the outside of her post.
She has been composed in this game, has rarely panicked in the match, and Kilkenny have the advantage. The ball goes out over the line, the far side. Referee says no foul. I'm not too sure about that myself, but either way, it's a Meath ball on this occasion. We have played over 1 minute of the 4 added minutes as Meath desperately chase the score to save their league title ambitions in 2021. And it's Grace Coleman sending it down towards the attack. Maura Kirby is the intended target, not to be, says Leanne Fenley, I think, as she sends the ball out the field towards the opposing 45-metre line. So it's Meath with the ball on their own 65-metre line, but they don't have it cleanly as Kilkenny fight for everything, fighting for the place in the final 4. Sophie O'Dwyer, Anya Phelan, 2 key players definitely in the second half. We talked about the 2 carers a lot in the first half, but it's the 13 and the 14 that have stood out in the second in the battle for Kilkenny. Hannah Scott's been another that's done tremendously well for them. Turns on her left hand side but sends it in. There's nobody there. Ball is given away and Meath will get another opportunity. So long ball down towards the opposing 65-metre line, and this time it's Leanne Fenley that has it. Gives it to Laura Hegarty. Laura Hegarty gets hooked by Grace Coleman. Laura Hegarty though hasn't given up trying to get the ball. 2 Meath players are there. Aisling Curtis comes in to help. Their hand is out. Their hand's being pulled, and it's going to be a Kilkenny free. And you'd fancy will Anya Phelan or will it be Sophie O'Dwyer step up and decide to put this game to bed?
Yeah, they'll certainly take their time over it, but a fantastic victory for Laura Hegarty there to come up with that ball. I'm not sure how, whether she had it in her hand going down and still had it in it coming up or not, but she's had a huge battle over there today with Grace Coleman and coming out on top on that occasion and giving Sophie the chance now to just maybe put 2 between them.
If this goes over the bar, you would feel that Meath will need the 3rd goal. Sophie O'Dwyer with the free for Kilkenny. Looks good. It's gone over the bar, and Kilkenny are 2 in front. It's Kilkenny 1-12. It's Meath 2-7. And the question is now one last chance for Meath. One last chance to save the game, but it's Kilkenny who win the ball back, and they win it through Aisling Curtis. Aisling Curtis in towards the attack. Meath must get this and get it away very, very quickly, but Louise Donoghue looking for support. Support is there from Maeve Clinton back to Aoife Minogue. Aoife Minogue inside her own 45-metre line down towards the opposing 65. Daniel Quigley for Kilkenny. Possession is 9/10 of the law now. If you're a fan of the black and amber, Ciara Phelan's beside her. She gives it to Ciara. Ciara Phelan makes a move inside the 45-metre line, sharks off the challenge from Louise Donoghue in towards Anya Phelan inside. Meath might just slow this down. The danger has not been cleared. It's a shot. It might be from Eva Hines into the hands of the goalkeeper Maggie Randall. Is there one last chance for Meath? All eyes on the referee. All eyes are on Aoife Minogue, and Aoife Minogue down towards the attack looking for Jane Dolan, and great bravery there. Great bravery from the Kilkenny defender Ciara Murphy, and that could well have saved her team. Jane Dolan has the ball. She's been blocked in her path. The foul is committed. Meath are going to get the chance, and we're getting the grandstand finish we wanted here, Elaine.
Absolutely, with the players that deserve it. Great credit to Ciara Murphy there. Got out in front of Jane Dolan, won that ball really, really well, but just couldn't clear it, and Jane Dolan, being the competitor and the player she is, got back up and really, really intelligently won that free, and a chance now for Aoife Minogue to put this in around the house.
This is surely the last chance of the game, and Meath need a goal out of it to win this game. Kilkenny in front by 2 points, and it's Aoife Minogue, very busy player, the All-Star of 2017. Can she set up the goal? Can she get it herself? We will see. Doesn't get it too far there, but will it find a Meath player again? It's Kilkenny out to the rescue. And is there a chance there? Meath will get the opportunity. Maura Kirby, was she held there? The referee says it was a foul. There's going to be another free in on 20 metres. And this is one now you'd feel they might have to go directly. Does somebody have the power from Meath to get this into the back of the net?
Well, they're certainly going to have Jane Dolan stand over it, and Kilkenny really need to be alert to it, that if they stop this initial shot, the Meath have players lined up outside it, so they need to pick them all, and there's no doubt about what Jane Dolan needs to do with this one.
We're into the 6th minute of added time now. She's not standing back from the ball. Has the referee given any indication there's more time, or is she fancy herself as well? Kilkenny have the players back. There's 5 in line with the shot on the player right in front as well. Jane Dolan hits it low, and it's scrambling out the line. It's a goal! It's a goal! It's a goal for Meath. We might need to see the replay of that, because I couldn't tell you who scored it, Elaine. Maybe you have a better view. The replay will come up in a moment, but Meath have their goal.
I'm not sure Meath will even care who scored it. The initial shot really well stopped on the line, but just rolled across the line, and I'm not sure who finished it, but Meath won't care.
It's a dramatic finish. The referee has blown the final whistle. We're looking at the replay there again, and Meath have beaten Kilkenny by 3-7 to 112. We'll confirm the goal scorer in just a moment there, but Meath have scored a victory with the last chance of the game. Elaine, first we'll take a breath and then we get your thoughts.
Yeah, super. As you said, a grandstand finish from there. What do you say about that? I suppose Kilkenny will have a couple of questions maybe about the initial freeze coming into the end of it there, but Meath won't care. You know, they got the 21, and as you said, Jane Dolan stood back from it. Didn't look like she was going to maybe put that much force behind it. Stopped really well on the line, but dribbled across the ball or the goal, and Meath happy to just get a hurl to it. We still haven't been able to confirm really who scored it, but as I said, I don't think Meath are going to care too much.
We'll just have one more look at it there as well. There's some speculation in the press box that Marie Kirby might have been the player that gets it, but we'll have a quick gawk there in just a moment. But Elaine, as we look at this as well, just give your thoughts on this is a massive blow for Kilkenny, isn't it?
Yeah, look, they looked to be in control for long periods of that second half, and certainly, you know, after the water break in that first half, they did look to have the game, and they had done really well throughout. But I mean, we spoke about the threat that Meath had up front, and that they would need to score goals, and that goals were going to be important scores in the game. And look, they did. They got 3, and ultimately, you know, Kilkenny had 13 scores, but the 3 goals are the 3 crucial ones, I suppose. And it's a horrible way to lose a game by a point, and with a last-minute goal especially. But you know, they can take confidence from a lot of that big performance, but I suppose they just lost concentration at the all-important times, and Meath capitalised and got the important scores.
Well, we take it to Marie Kirby that got the winning goal there for Meath. It was definitely a white helmet anyway, and it wasn't Jane Dolan. So Meath have won this game by 3-7 to 112. Again, before I get your player of the match for Meath, like, not just a victory, but like to grab a victory like that is going to give them a massive lift for the rest of the season. Yeah,
it's huge heart. You know, that's much more than a victory in a league quarter-final, I suppose. It's gushing for Kilkenny, but it's a huge lift for Meath, and it'll be great testament to Brendan and his backroom team that they never gave up the fight. You know, they could have dropped the heads on occasions, but they didn't, and I suppose that's the experience of having been there, and the experience of players who have won All-Irelands and, you know, have played so many years with Meath, that they have that experience, that never say die attitude, and you know, that's something massive to be carrying on now into a league semi-final.
Well, Elaine, anyway, I know you were thinking about player of the match before all the excitement of the finish there as well. Give us your contenders and overall our player of the match.
Yeah, I suppose from a Kilkenny point of view, I thought a lot of the backs stood up really well. Roisin Phelan had a huge battle with Jane Dolan for a lot of the day today, worked really well with Leanne Fennelly outside her, 2 hugely experienced players, and they really marshalled that Kilkenny defence for a lot of that, as did Tiffany Fitzgerald at wing backwards. And up front, I suppose Hannah Scott was a real handful in that full forward line, and Sophie Dwyer did really well with the chances that she got. In general, the Kilkenny forwards were busy with any opportunity they got. From a Meath point of view, you know, Maggie Randall was called on occasion, as we said, didn't put her hand to a lot of them, but dealt with them confidently and blocked out. Ellen Burke had a huge battle with Hannah Scott inside. I thought Christina Troy's possession around the middle of the field was key, and she got on a lot of ball. And again, up front, you know, we spoke about Megan Tyne and Amy Gaffney and this field they covered today and the possession they got. But ultimately for me, I think Aoife Minogue was probably the player that turned the game there. You know, she dropped out deep when she needed to, won a couple of really important puck outs and got a lot of ball into that full forward line, and again she was combining with that last play. So for me, Aoife Minogue was probably the standout player for Meath today.
We'd like to thank Elaine Aylward for joining me here in the commentary box. And don't forget, we're back again at 5 o'clock for the Division 1 quarter-final between Kilkenny and Limerick. In a moment, we'll have reaction from both camps. And, of course, also the player of the match, Meath's number 11, Aoife Minogue. A last-gasp goal from Marie Kirby gets Meath through to the semi-finals of Division 2 of the Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League. A 1-point win in the end. And it finished here in St Brendan's Park in Birr. Meath 3-7, Kilkenny 1-12.
Our game is about more than sacrifice. Our game's about style.
Camogie is the fastest field sport in the world.
In our game, we play and create with flair.
Push, all the way through, really good.
We break records, smash ceilings, and shatter expectations. We live with our own expression. We turn our style into art. We set real squad goals. On and off the pitch. We follow trailblazers and legends. And our game is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We forge our own path forward.
You want the new personal best? Come on, all the way.
Because our style is substance. And our style is here to stay.
Well, welcome back here to St. Brendan's Park in Byrne. I'm joined by the player of the match, Meath's Aoife Minogan. Aoife, we were trying to catch our breath there. Explain that finish to us.
Oh, I don't know. Definitely leaving it to the last minute. It was very, very tough, but everyone gave everything right until the last second. So it's just amazing to see the girls pulling together. There's been a lot of training put in, and you can finally see it coming together at the moment. So it's brilliant. Just delighted to be sure, to be honest. Delighted.
You'd only scored one goal in your previous 3 games as well, so we weren't expecting goals. We were looking for more Meath points, and at half-time it wasn't looking very good. Going 5 points down, and Kilkenny seemed to be turning the corner. What was said at half-time, because he came out a determined bunch?
I mean, I guess it was just put the heads down. Like, even in the first half, I guess we were doing the right things. We were practicing, putting into practice what we were doing in training. We were doing the right things, but they might have just not been coming off, or Kilkenny got the touch in, which kind of put us off. Because Kilkenny are a savage side. But I guess just in the second half, we just put our head down, just took our time, but calmed it down a small bit and just kept doing what we were doing, because we knew it'd have to pay off in the end.
Work rate was crucial throughout for both teams as well. Kilkenny deserving credit there as well. It was a very entertaining game of Camogie. I know Kilkenny won't feel that now themselves, and you wouldn't if you hadn't got the results. But with 2 committed teams, and as you said there, even the winning goal, it was battling till the very finish.
Absolutely. Like, Kenny, as I said, and right, standing side, their work rate, their skill, their everything, like, unbelievable. But we were expecting that coming out as well. We knew we'd have to put absolutely everything in today, and we knew that our work rate was just going to have to be better. We were just going to have to be hungrier, want it more, and not stop fighting to the very end. So Kilkenny came back there when it was draw game, 2 points, and we were nearly in extra time, and they were up by 2 points. So I mean, their work rate also was outstanding. So I guess we came out on top
bit of luck at the green as well. Quarter-final stage, you always need that on your side. But yeah, glad we came out on top.
And finally, of course, well, it's 4 weeks in a row. You're going 5 weeks in a row. It'll be a semi-final next week. Of course, we've no idea who you'll be playing there as well during the week. So everything during the week will be important to maintain this momentum.
Absolutely. I mean, our management team are very good about recovery, very, very focused on recovery and not killing us in every training session. Like, we'll all go home tonight and recover, and hopefully, whatever girls do for recovery, whether it's foam rolling, beach, jump in the sea, whatever, we'll all try and get our own bit done on a Sunday, and then we'll go back and have probably a light enough session on Monday to recover as well. Because this time of year, when you're going week on week, girls are prone to injury no matter how fit you are, no matter how much you're doing. You've games like that every week, and it's too intense to be doing that of a Saturday and then 2 or 3 nights hard training during the week as well. So recovery is really, really focused on in our camp anyway.
What you're doing at the moment is working. You're through to the semi-finals. You are the player of the match, Aoife. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That was Aoife Minogue, our player of the match there, and in a moment we'll be talking to the winning manager, Brendan Skehan, who's working his way over to us here at the moment. The Bonnish store there, he's still making plans for the week, and Brendan is just coming over to join us here now. And Brendan, you've had a chance to compose yourself now after that. Thank you very much, Aoife. No doubt needless to say, you're very proud of your players who never give up until the final whistle.
Yeah, I really am. They're proud of themselves, I think. They actually, I was wondering whether they want to give up. With it, about a minute or two from the end there, I could see there was a few tired legs towards the end, but I said, geez, don't give up. And I had a chat with them out there afterwards. I said, look, you make your own luck in these situations, and the last puck of the ball is where we got that piece of luck, and it was a bit of luck in the end. I feel really bad for the Kilkenny girls, but you make your luck, you get in the right place at the right time, and that's what we've been talking about trying to get a little bit more clinical with our finishing, just trying to get into positions where it'll happen, and you don't have to set the world on fire, just be in the right place at the right time, and that's what happened at the end there, so.
Before Kilkenny got their last point, we were gearing up for an extra 20 minutes. We were convinced this was going to a replay, but of course 2 down, you had to go for the goal, and Jane took the free there. Didn't look like she got the connection she wanted. It was dangerous nonetheless. Now, have you confirmed, because we couldn't work out and we don't have a TMO, was it Marie Kirby that got the winning goal?
It was Marie, yeah. So I had every faith that Marie would get in and make a difference there at some stage, but her time was running out and I was having fingers crossed. But no, she's a great little goal poacher, in fairness to her. She knows she's the kind of girl that is in the right place at the right time. You don't see her running up halfway up the pitch looking for the ball. She hangs around where you want her to be.
She was an inspired substitution as well, but throughout the field there were so many players that worked very, very hard. As you mentioned, tired legs near the end, which would have been you would have been focusing on as a management team as well. But like Jane Dolan was back inside her own 20-metre line at one stage. Aoife Minogue was player of the match, and deservedly so. Sophia Payne gave everything she had before she went off too. And throughout the field, they would never lack the work rate that you wanted.
Yeah, no, I mean, Sophia came off, Sinead Hackett came off, and to be honest, I was biting my lip taking them off because they were still having a great game, but I could see the legs were tiring a bit, and sure, like what I'm asking the girls is try and get out there and not give 100%, give 120%, and then we'll spring someone from the bench to give 120% again. So I'd rather they come off on their knees before the 60 minutes is out than actually try to hold something till the very end. So just keep the intensity and the volume up there, so to speak.
I know there's no trophies being handed out here today, Brendan, but of course that's a massive boost for your team after the disappointment of last year's championship as well. That'll give a big confidence kick leading into the semi-final.
Well, to be honest, it's good to win it. It's as simple as that. I think the girls know that they can play better than they've played. They had a good game, they fought till the end, and a bit of fitness showed in some of them as well, but their touch at times was found wanting. I thought the Kilkenny touch was a little bit stronger than ours, and they know it as well. We know we have to work on certain areas of our game, so we know we have to work on that particular area. We were popping the ball out maybe up a little bit high for the Kilkenny girls to get in and steal it from us. They're the little things, yeah, they'd be thrilled with the win, but they know it was too tight at the end there. It was too tight for comfort.
And before I let you go, of course, plenty of work to do during the week, but also trying to keep everything fresh because these games are coming thick and fast, but who knows, 2 weeks away from possibly a final.
Yeah, well, look, one day at a time. Next weekend's a game. To be honest, if we didn't have a game next weekend, we'd probably be looking for a challenge game and run it. But the only issue I have is now we want to try to get a few of the girls in off the line and get them, get a right game time for them. But when you have these games week on week like that, sometimes it can be very difficult to do that. So it's a balancing act, trying to keep the entire squad happy and going, everyone together, in a positive frame of mind.
Well, there'll definitely be a pep in the step after that finish, Brendan. Well done,
great.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
That was the Meath winning manager, Brendan Skehan there. And we're going to have a word now with Kilkenny boss, John Scott, and just let John go into position there as well. John, it's always a very, very difficult interview to do after losing any game as well, but after you pretty much 99% did everything you needed to do, but unfortunately that 1% evaded you at the end.
It was, yes. It was a sucker punch there at the very end, all right. But look, as I said to the girls there, look, we'll keep our heads up, we'll knuckle in Tuesday night, and we'll try to get ready for the championship.
There's a lot of positives to take out of the performance. I know you've plenty to work on as well, or we wouldn't be talking in this situation. But like we felt, especially in defence first, your defenders were very composed. You knew the attacking threats that you had. You got caught for a bad first 5 minutes of the second half, but bar that 5 minutes in the finish, you know, they look good. Your defence in particular.
Oh, they did, yeah. Look, and we've been working on things as well in training about defending and stuff like that, like and our attacking. I thought our actually attack was very good now today as well. They worked very hard, but in the end of the day, look, it was Meath. Wish them all the best now in the semi-final, but that old sucker punch killed us.
It certainly did indeed. But like even as your attack there as well, like Bar just suppose putting me down with sight at the end, you got some good points in the game, like the two Kieras in the first half in particular caught my eye. Sophie O'Dwyer and Anya Phelan worked hard in the second half. Hannah Scott always looked dangerous. We talked about some of the Meath misses in the game, but Kilkenny 1 or 2 goal chances too in another day you might have taken.
Yeah, it's true actually. Yeah, there was a couple of chances there, all right. Hannah as well had one when the goalkeeper actually fell over. But look, those things happen in the sport as well, so they nearly always have to be a loser. And just bad thing that we're on the end of it this today. But
how will you use this game now as your preparation for the championship? I know you're not out for 5 or 6 weeks now as well. Will you take a break for a week or two, or will we hit the ground running now next week and get yourselves right and learn the lessons from today?
We'll hit the ground running. I think we'll be there Tuesday night anyway, and we'll see. I know there's a few of the girls actually doing their leaving cert on starting on Wednesday, so they'll be missing all right. Like, but look, we'll knuckle down on Tuesday night. I don't think we'll take a break. I think we'll just knuckle down, get a few challenge matches and see where we go.
But those players will have their examination, and no doubt your side will have that come to summer as well. John, great game at Camogie, as you said. It's a shame there has to be a loser in a day like that, but thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks very much. All right.
So that was the Kilkenny Camogie manager John Scott there, and of course earlier on we spoke to the Meath manager Brendan Skehan and the player of the match Aoife Minogue. It's all over here in the first of our 2 games live from St Brendan's Park in Birr today, and it's Meath who advance to the semi-finals in Division 2 of the Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League. Make sure you join us again at 5 o'clock where we've live coverage of the Division 1 quarter-final between Kilkenny and Limerick. With that being said, I'm Darren Kelly, joined by Elaine Aylwood, and Elaine will just give you the final say in this day as well. As John Scott says there, shame there has to be a loser, but he's took it very well, and Kilkenny will learn an awful lot from that contest.
Yeah, huge game of Camogie, you know, massive and a great skill on display. Both, it was end to end, like we said, you know, score for score, and a great contest for both teams. And you know, you can't replicate those kind of games. And you can train for 3 or 4 weeks coming into a championship game, but you can't buy that kind of experience. And you know, both teams I think will learn a lot. Neither of them had 100% perfect performance today, so you know, obviously Meath are in the better position and they're going away with the win and with things to learn, whereas Kilkenny have a longer run into championship, I suppose. But look, plenty of things to work on, lots of positives, and I suppose up until maybe 30 seconds before that final whistle they would have been going away with the win and the things to learn. So look, both positives from both sides, and you know, as you said, unfortunately one had to be a loser today.
But the victory was made as we ripped up the script there as well. Now we're going to take a break, and Elaine's going to buy me a coffee. Again, we'll be back at 5 o'clock for the second part of our double header, Kilkenny against Limerick. We hope you enjoyed our coverage of the first game here in St Brendan's Park in Birr. That was Littlewoods Ireland National Camogie League Division 2 quarter-final. Meath the winners. What a finish. Marie Kirby is the hero. It finished Meath 3-7, Kilkenny 1-12.
Our game is about more than sacrifice. Our game's about style.
Camogie is the fastest field sport in the world.
In our game, we play and create with flair.
Push, all the way through, really good.
We break records, smash ceilings, and shatter expectations. We live with our own expression. We turn our style into art. We set real squad goals. On and off the pitch. We follow trailblazers and legends. And our game is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We forge our own path forward.
You want the new personal best? Come on, all the way. Yes.
Because our style is substance. And our style is here to stay.